everyone. Sorry for the late entrance. Good to see everyone, and thank you for reminding me that it's Saturday, leopard print, because I had my days mixed up. But can everyone hear me? Okay, I'm gonna adjust my mic so you might hear some noises. But um, is my audio working? I was having trouble with that too, so that took me a little bit. Um, but yeah. Oh, thank you, leopard print. Yeah, I made that intro last week. Just real quick, put it together because I wanted something different. But okay, thank you. Awesome. Hi, mom. First, how are you? Um, oh yeah, and I saw this. She recognizes. Yeah, so mom first is usually in a lot of places that we do hang out. On Blind channel, sometimes my channel, several different places. But yeah. Hello, Wendy. How are you? Thank you for being here. Okay, so I found a video. Let me see if I can get it to play. And this is just something I wanted to share just in case. I don't know if I've seen it. So again, like I said, I did the basics of Chelsea's story when it first came out. I do have a live on that. If you go back, and I had dropped it yesterday. If anyone is interested, I can drop it again. Just let me know. But I had done that live and only had got kind of like the rundown and the basics. And then everything happened with vacation. And when I came back, I've been trying to play catch up. I am blessed to have found Brian's channel, which is the guy from LTL, True Crime Podcast. He has been amazing letting me use his content. I appreciate it so much. Hey, Kim K, good afternoon. Um, and yes, he does, or he has worked with SF to get some of his information. Now, from what I do understand, he has also gotten his own information. So, in order for me to fully catch up, so that I bring out the facts and what we have so far, I only think it's best for me to start over from the beginning of what this guy has compiled, because he seems to be one of the only creators right now that is covering Chelsea's case. So we're going to go back together from the beginning and cover Chelsea Grimm, because I don't know how to explain it. It's just, it has grabbed onto my heartstrings, and I feel the need to push forward and keep talking about her. So that's what I'm going to do. There's also a Facebook group. Oh God, let me see. Brian does mention it. Let me make sure. I don't want to give you guys the wrong one, but there are several Facebook groups where you can find some information. Um, her sister's name is Sarah, and that was public. She publicly commented on many things. But just be careful in the Facebook groups also, because not that stuff is always vetted, and not all of that stuff is always confirmed to be fact or not. So you still have to be careful no matter where you're getting your information. Even from me, definitely fact check, make your own assumptions, and go from there. And that's exactly what I'm doing. So let's see. Also, if you're in here and you have a channel, if you type the word link drop in the chat, just the same way I'm going to do here, it will drop your channel name, and that way people can sub up to your channels, because I like to try to, build up other people's channels. So at any time, you can do the link drop and it will drop your channel. But so for the people who are not here, I'm going to drop theirs real quick in case you want to sub up to any of them. Feel free to do that. Let's see. And sorry about that. I like to try to get this out the way. But let me find the video real quick, and then I can not bore y'all with all of my Nightbot stuff. Okay. Let's see what this video said, because I don't know if I've seen this one. This one was October 13th.
Locked On Daily Podcast for every college team.
What this program is doing with Coach Hugh Freeze, we're all assuming.
Gonna mute the ad there.
Office says they need your help trying to find this missing 32-year-old woman. Chelsea Grimm was last seen back on September 28th in Williams, Arizona. Days later, her car found just outside of Ash Fork with 2 flat tires. That's where we start this Thursday night here on 12 News at 10 o'clock. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Jonathan McCall. 12 News journalist Bianca Bono talking with Chelsea's parents tonight. And Bianca, the big question, do they have any idea where she could be?
Jonathan, unfortunately, they don't. Chelsea was on a road trip on her way to Connecticut, where her parents live, when she told them she decided to stop and camp in Arizona for a couple of days. Now they're asking the public to share Chelsea's photo as much as possible with the hopes that someone saw her.
You wouldn't wish it on anyone.
It's been 2 weeks since Stephen and Janet Grimm have heard from their daughter every morning since, waking up with hope that will change.
I mean, that alone, that statement alone, it breaks my heart just for any family members who go through having missing loved ones. Now, on yesterday's live that I did, Brian on LTL does mention that, there have been talk of maybe a possibly strained relationship between her and her parents. She did live on the West Coast. Her parents lived on the East Coast. So we don't really know the dynamics of their family. But either way, in a situation like this, regardless of the situation, you're going to, this is going to drive you crazy. You're going to want to know where your child is. So I can't imagine what they're going through.
It's been just a horrible, horrible, horrible experience.
On September 24th, Chelsea Grimm left her home in San Diego for a cross-country road trip, heading to Connecticut for a wedding and to see her parents. The 32-year-old with a master's degree from NYU in clinical social work was alone, with the exception of her pet bearded dragon. 3 days later, her parents got a call.
She had gotten as far as Arizona, and she called us and said, I don't think I'm going to make the wedding. I don't think I can get there in time. She said, I think what I'm going to do is just take a couple of days and camp. I'll get back to you. Please don't expect to hear from me for a couple of days.
So, the fact that she did change her mind on the wedding, and then decide to just kind of go on her own road trip and do her own thing, being alone, a woman these days that's just pretty scary to think about. That would scare the crap out of me. So, like I said, I can't imagine this family's fear and worry right now.
I wouldn't say it was usual, but she's got skills. It's not the first time she's ever been in the wilderness.
After several days went by, Chelsea's parents reported her missing to Phoenix police. And on October 5th, hunters in the Kaibab National Forest northeast of Ash Fork, Arizona, reported a suspicious car parked with 2 flat tires. According to the Coconino County Sheriff's Office, the car, a 2019 white Ford Escape, was Chelsea's, only she was nowhere to be found.
See, and I think that was another reason why I grabbed onto this case, was because she was missing, and then you find her car and she's not in it. That's huge freaking red flags. If she was going to go camping, if she was anywhere nearby, they would have found her. They would have found some kind of evidence of an area that she camped at or something. Brian, yesterday on my live that I showed, he mentions that if you're getting kidnapped, you're not going to grab your sleeping bag. You're not going to grab your bearded dragon. You're not going to, they're not going to give you the time to do that. So I do believe that she did leave her vehicle on her own, possibly because of the 2 flat tires, which we still don't know how that got there. But that doesn't mean she was safe. That doesn't mean that when she went to find a camping spot that she was safe. So that is where, the worry comes in, because this is in the middle of nowhere. There's no cameras out there. You have no eyewitnesses except for the woodcutters and the other people that Brian does go over. But other than that, you just have like these witness statements, but you don't have any actual proof of life on a audio or video form. Like we know nothing. And that's what breaks my heart. That's what's keeping me going. Let's see what changed. Why did she change her plans? I know that's a good question. she did hang out with a friend. The girl, I forgot. Is that the, I don't want to say any misnames. But she did hang out with a female friend and then had made plans to go the next day to hang out again, but then she canceled those plans as well. So I don't know what changed her mind from their cross country trip for the wedding. And yeah, her camera, that's the weirdest thing. Like, you're grabbing what you need to go possibly camping, because she grabbed her sleeping bag. She grabbed her purse, her bearded dragon. She obviously had her phone. Why would you not grab your camera? Which, if you're a photographer, like, that's the one thing that you would not forget, in my opinion. On the Facebook group yesterday, I did see someone had said, so in some of the screenshots of the camera roll, on her camera, it shows like picture 2000 something of, the max number of photos that's on the camera. And it has like a timestamp, and some people were trying to figure out, how did she take over 1,000 pictures in like a small amount of time. I don't remember all the details because there was a lot of controversy around it. But either way, it just makes you wonder, she left her phone behind. Why? And did anyone else find her phone? Did anyone else come across? I mean, not her phone, her camera. I'm sorry. And if she did, where she left it, did anyone else come across her camera? And did someone mess with the time and the dates? Or, you don't know. I don't know who even has the camera right now. I would assume law enforcement has it. I hope so anyway. But I just have a lot of questions. I need to start writing these questions down.
Her pet was gone. Her wallet with her credit card, her debit card, her driver's license was gone. Clothes and a sleeping bag were gone.
Chelsea's camera was left behind in her car, which is where the sheriff's office found the most recent photos taken by her. Officials immediately launching a search effort in the area from the air and on the ground. They say no foul play is suspected.
Even if it seems trivial, we're hoping that someone saw her.
Her family and friends urging the public to come forward with any information, looking forward to the day they wake up and talk to their daughter again.
We can't wait to get our baby girl back.
And Chelsea's parents tell me they typically spoke to her every day. They say her phone was pinged, but unfortunately it was turned off on either September 28th or the 29th.
Okay, so that's something that I didn't know. So her phone was pinged, and I'm writing this down. And they said sometime between the 28th or 29th. Let me see. Sure.
Again, if you have any information on either September 28th or the 29th.
So it was turned off. Between 9:28 and 9:29. So they obviously got a ping from her phone. I would like to know where her phone pinged at. If my voice like goes off, it's because my mouth is not close to the microphone when I'm writing. I apologize. Where did her phone ping? Okay. So I'm going to write all this down just because I am trying to catch up on everything.
Again, if you have any
okay, so I can stop sharing that one. But yeah, the camera is definitely odd. Definitely. Okay. So what LTL, excuse me, what LTL has done, and I'll just share my screen so I can show y'all how amazing his channel is and stuff. Let's start with this one. So when you go to his page, this is what his page looks like. And again, I'm going to drop it in the chat for anybody who would like to sub up to him, binge watch any of his content, any of that stuff. I'll pin his link at the top. I'm sorry, I'm trying to multitask. But this is how he does his channel. So when you go to playlist, he has a Chelsea Grimm missing person case. Makes it so much easier and so convenient, and I appreciate this factor so much. So this is how I'm going to start. All of this is from beginning to now. So like I said, it's going to take me a bit, but I will go over it little by little. Some of them might be pre-recorded, some might be live streams. It just depends on what you guys want. And for those who voted last night on my community post that you wanted to talk more about it, I apologize. When I went back to check the results, my medicine was kicking in. I was getting so tired, and I was like, oh, I feel so bad for letting them down. But here I am. I made it. I'm sorry about that, though. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to the bottom because he has them dated. Has them set up according to the dates. So this was the first one that he did. And so this one is called The Bizarre Disappearance of San Diego Woman Chelsea Grimm. Live call-in with friend that updates us. Now, you will see that some of these are 2 hours long. I do not intend on using his whole entire content for my content. I just want to commentate. I want to get the timestamps of stuff I want to really look into and just kind of catch up on that. So, again, don't worry. I'm not going to keep y'all here for 7 hours. But I do love how he has everything set up. So can you remind me of the last day she was heard from? Yeah, and I had it written down. So I want to say September 27th is the last day that her parents had spoken to her. So she did have a friend meet up. Geez, let's see. And this is what I mean. I'm glad I'm going over this again because I really need to. Chelsea Grimm last heard from. Okay, so she spoke to her parents on the 27th, but it says she was last seen September 28th in Williams, Arizona. She was reported missing on October 4th. So yeah, so she was last seen 9/28. She did speak to her parents on 9/27, and she was reported missing, I want to say October 4th. Don't quote me on. Yeah, it does. Okay, her parents reported her missing on October 4th. So there's the dates for that. No problem. Yeah, her phone was turned off between the 28th or 29th. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and jump up a little bit and see how he introduces it.
Just mix things up a little bit. You know, we've had the same kind of look on the channel for quite a while. I always like to change things up. The logo, the appearance. You see now we have the pink smoke in the background. I decided to do a red in the background this evening instead of. We finalized everything today. He got back to me, which was super cool.
Okay, so this is a different case, I think. Yeah, he covered something different, it looks like. Hold on, guys. Okay, he might get to her there. Okay, let's see.
Cool. And I've been updating my spreadsheet at the end of every stream. So Lucky Phil has one, and he says, if I win, I expect to adjust the screen. There we go. All right. So here we go. A 32-year-old California woman vanished while camping in Arizona on a cross-country road trip, her family said. Chelsea Grimm of Ocean Beach planned to camp in Arizona on her way to a wedding in Connecticut. Her parents told KGTV she also planned to visit her family. Lucky Phil's got the first super chat in towards the sunglasses. If you don't know about the sunglasses, I'm doing a giveaway at the end of the night. Sunglasses and to visit her family. Lucky Phil's got the first super chat in towards the sunglasses.
Sorry, I was writing down the KGTV because that is a very good source that was doing a lot of updates.
If you don't eat over $2, we get you. Yeah, for you with them. She at the end of every cost me $1 So any membership, any these streams close to just over an hour now.
Oh my God, if that scared y'all, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that he had a soundboard. He gave me a mini heart attack. Okay, let's go forward a little bit.
Appreciate you. The super sticker, appreciate it. And you have an entry into the contest. Okay, so it says several days into her trip, she texted them and said she intended to skip the wedding and spend more time in Arizona, the station said. Then she vanished. She was reported missing on October 4th, and the Coca-Cola County Sheriff's Office said in a news, Paula, thank you so much, Paula.
And by the way, the news release that did come out by Coconino County Sheriff's Office, I do go over that on the live that I covered because it is on their Facebook page. So if you can go to my live and watch it there or on the Coconino County Sheriff's Office Facebook page, they do have the official news release. And I'm not sure if Brian goes over it, but I did go over it word for word. They didn't do a press conference. They still haven't to this day, which is really weird, but they did do a news release.
She says, Paula's got the $5 super chat. Keep stopping. We'll never get through the stream until then. And then that way I said in a news release on October 5th, hunters found her SUV abandoned on a Forest Service road north of Ash Fork. Her SUV had 2 flattened tires, her parents told KGTV. A camera found inside contains some selfie photos of Grimm. Not knowing where she is, it's devastating. It's paralyzing. Feels surreal, Mom Janet Grimm told the station. She said she hopes her daughter caught a ride on the road. Investigators believe she was with the vehicle on the night of September 30th, but her last confirmed sighting was in Williams, Arizona on the 28th, the sheriff's office said. Grimm was traveling with her pet lizard, a bearded dragon, sheriff officials said. Searching efforts are continuing. Sheriff officials asked anyone with information to call 928-774-4523. Ash Fork is about 145 miles north of Phoenix. So that was the first reporting that was coming out, and that was around October 12th. Now I want to look here. Here on the 13th, and we add a little bit more updating and more depth to the article now. Missing woman from Ocean Beach, last seen in Arizona. Search for an Ocean Beach woman continues Thursday after detectives found her in an abandoned car in a remote area of Arizona. Chelsea Grimm, 32, was last seen nearly 2 weeks ago near Flagstaff. Grimm moved from the East Coast to OB in 2020. Days before she went missing, she had contact with an Arizona police officer. CBS 8 requested the body cam video taken from Williams, Arizona police officer days after she went missing. We're going to play a little bit of that body cam footage tonight. In the video, the officer asks if she's okay. Chelsea responds and says, yeah, I'm doing a photo shoot of the lost soldiers, and I got to look. Emotional, so I wanted to stop and cry before I got on the road, said Grimm. The police officer, he was responding to a call about suspicious activity at the Williams Cemetery where he found Grimm and her pet bearded dragon, Rosie, inside the 2019 Ford Escape SUV. She told the officer she was emotional after taking pictures of the veterans' graves.
When people ask me what I do,
Make sure. Let's see. I appreciate your compassion, said Grimm in a video. A week later, on October 5th, the sheriff deputies called to Road 6, a remote dirt road west of Flagstaff near Ash Fork, Arizona. They found Grimm's abandoned SUV in the middle of the road that's often used by hunters and woodcutters. Her car was locked and her clothes were inside, and there were two tires were flat. Sheriff
Oh, I was muted. Well, I wasn't talking a lot at the time. I was going back and getting timestamps. My bad. Yeah, good thing I wasn't talking to y'all the whole time. I was talking kind of to myself. But all I did was go back and I was making sure that I did have her last seen sighting was 9/28. And so I went back and I made sure that was okay. And then I came back to this article and I was reading again where the officer where they found her car on October 6th. That's when they found it abandoned. I was trying to go back and see what date was the police officer when that call was. So a week later on October 5th, they found Grimm's. Okay, so they found it on the 5th. Wow. How am I getting all this mixed up? It seems like they said a different date on the other article. I don't know. I'm just kind of looking through the discrepancies of the articles. Okay, her family reported her missing 4th. What day was the police officer encountered? Does anyone know that? The officer was responding. Let's see. I'm sorry, y'all. This is what happens when we sleuth live. So all it says is that it was days before she went missing. Okay, I'm sure that we will get to the body cam footage. I'm sorry for going behind and all that stuff. I'm just writing it all down and trying to make sure I have everything. So I apologize.
deputies called to Road 6, a remote dirt road west of Flagstaff near Ash Fork, Arizona. They found Grimm's abandoned SUV in the middle of the road that's often used by hunters and woodcutters. Her car was locked and her clothes were inside, and there were two tires were flat. Sheriff Jim Driscoll says her disappearance is suspicious because they didn't receive a call from anyone about car trouble, and they say foul play is a possibility. We focus on both the person who is potentially lost or there's foul play, or that they could choose voluntarily to get a ride, said Driscoll.
So note that at this point, they say that foul play is a possibility.
Says Grimm's family reporting her missing on October 4th after she left San Diego for the wedding in Connecticut, and she said she was stopping to camp in Arizona. It's unlikely she over communicates, said Janet Grimm, Chelsea's mother. The sheriff says that they traced Grimm's steps back to September 27th when she met with a friend in Phoenix.
Okay, so that's another date. For the timeline is September 27th is she met a friend in Phoenix. And this is the friend I was talking about. I don't know what friend that is.
Day, she canceled.
I don't know what friend that is, but he might go over it later.
Canceled the lunch with that friend. So on the 28th, she canceled. Later that day, she was reported. This is crazy. This is very odd. And when you see on the map where she went from Phoenix to this Siegelman, how way off she is. Later that day, she was reported to be disorientated when she tried to book a motel in Siegelman, which is near Williams. We were told by one of the individuals.
So later that day. So he says the following day on the 28th, she canceled her lunch with that friend. And then later that day, so I would assume that would be later on the 28th. So later on the 28th, she tried to book a motel in Siegelman. If anybody is in here that knows that area, maybe y'all could give us kind of a ballpark. Like, is that a pretty good distance that she went? Once you catch up, watch out, folks. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna do the best I can. As far as the only family members that I've seen that are active or on her face or on that Facebook page, and that's her sister. So I will reach out to her sister and see if she is interested in speaking to me. But I want to be caught up on everything. I don't want to be so far behind and have all these questions, and then the questions I do have, I'll make sure that I highlight. So
individuals that she seemed confused when she was in Siegelman. She was trying to exchange euros as opposed to U.S. currency, said Driscoll. On September 28th, Grimm spoke to a Williams neighbor in their driveway.
Okay, so this is the same day she goes to the motel. That same day, she spoke to a Williams neighbor in their driveway. That was the same night that Williams police contacted her. So are they saying that the body cam at the cemetery, that was the 28th? I'm guessing that all happened on the 28th. Let me just write this one down. She spoke to a Williams neighbor.
That was the same night Williams police contacted her. Driscoll said her phone and credit card activity also stopped. Detectives said Thursday morning they spoke with a woodcutter who told them he saw Grimm's car on a dirt road on September 30th and stopped to talk to her when she was in a nearby field. He talked to her around noon and said she was fine, and she said she didn't need any help, and she was out taking photographs, said Driscoll. The sheriff.
Okay, so detectives say Thursday morning they spoke with the woodcutter who told them he saw Grimm's car on that dirt road on 9:30. So 9:30 is when the woodcutter spoke to her. And she was fine, didn't need any help. And see, she was out taking photographs. That's why I don't understand. Why did she leave? Why would she leave her camera behind? It doesn't make any sense.
Sheriff said that they have hundreds of search team members in the air and on the ground looking for Grimm. Her family is pleading she is found safe. It's agonizing and heart-wrenching, said Stephen Grimm, Chelsea's father. The body cam video is 9 minutes long. In it, the officer asked Grimm if she uses marijuana. She admitted to smoking it hours before. Police said the patrol officer didn't feel she was disorientated and safe to drive. Her car registration was about to expire, and he warned her to update it. Driscoll.
Okay, I want to speak on that because I did speak on this on my live, and this is before I had found his channel. So I had went over the same article. In this article, it says that they told her, or the police officer let her know that her car registration was about to expire. And then in another article I read on that same live, it said that her registration was expired. So that's another question that I have is like, was her registration expired or not? So, and maybe some of these questions I have will get answered in later videos because, like I said, I'm at the beginning of his playlist. But I just thought it was interesting because little things like that to me matter, because that could be maybe why she was nervous about getting back in her vehicle and going any further. She realized her car registration was either expired or about to. I think that makes a huge difference. That's weird. I see she was in Williams the 28th October in a different car. Did you see that just now in this article, Wendy? Because I think this is all the 28th of September, if I'm not mistaken. And yes, the details matter. And I know that some of the journalists get things wrong, but some of these things, especially cases like this, you have to have things like that right. Was it expired? Was it not expired? To me, that matters.
Said her ex-boyfriends have been ruled out in the disappearance. The sheriff also says her family told that she sometimes struggled with mental health, but nothing definitive. If you have any questions or information about Chelsea Grimm, or if you have any information of her disappearance, call 1-800-338-7888. So that was back on the 3rd.
Okay, so I wrote down that as of October 13th, the boyfriend at that point was cleared. He wasn't like a person of interest or anything like that.
So we got a little bit more information coming in as tips and more information starts coming out.
Enjoy my little interlude. Okay, I just want to, okay, I'm going to take a break a little, not like a break, but just to talk about it all and like try to just process everything. Possible registration end of September, so by October it was officially expired. That could be very true. And that's just something I would like to know. You know, I'm pretty sure the police have all this information. Being that they hired a private investigator early on, they could also have a lot of information and they're just holding back a lot, you know, because like I said yesterday, if this is a case of someone who just doesn't want to be found, who is an adult, who has made the decision to start her life over, and law enforcement and the private investigator have all this information, they do not have to put it out because she is an adult that wants to remain missing for whatever reason. And that's just a theory. That's not nothing that's been proven or anything like that. We're just saying if that's the case, that could be a reason why we might not be hearing anything, which is upsetting because a lot of us are invested and we hope that she's safe. So hopefully, if that is the case, we do find out the truth about, you know, whether or not she's missing or not, if she's okay or not, those sorts of things. No, let me look. Okay, so September 28th, she was in Williams. I'm sorry, Daisy. Oh, no, you're good. And that's why we're doing this together. You guys can help me because I miss a lot of things. I might see something wrong that you guys can point out. So I appreciate that. So yeah, it seems like right now a lot has happened. The 27th, she met up with a friend in Phoenix, talked to her parents. A lot of things happened on the 28th. The motel in Siegelman, she talked to the Williams neighbor. They also say that her phone and her credit card had stopped. 9:30 was the last sighting. The woodcutter spoke to her. So see, that's where I'm confused because the news or everything that we're reading says that the last confirmed sighting was 9:28, yet you have a woodcutter who spoke to her on 9:30. I think he clears up that discrepancy later, either him or SF does, and that's where I was saying yesterday, but it did SF actually confirm it? I hope so. I think he said he confirmed something about the woodcutter story. So we'll just go through and we'll see what comes of that. Yes, definitely, Chelsea. If you happen to come across this, my small little channel, let your parents know, let someone know that you trust that you are safe and that you're okay. Thank you for that, Wendy. Okay, let's see what he covers next. Oh, might help if I haven't found
Canceled dinner plans with so here we go. Missing woman canceled dinner plans with a friend, had an emotional chat with police officer, in a brief exchange with a woodcutter found her in a remote area of Ash Fork, Arizona.
Okay, so the woodcutter was in Ash Fork. How far is Ash Fork, Arizona from Williams? Because wasn't Williams where she was before? Let's see. Ash Fork, Arizona to Williams. So that is like a 20-minute drive. So that's not that far. Hold on. I had some other stuff playing. Okay.
It all happened a short span between September 27th and the 30th, which was the last time Chelsea Grimm, 32, was seen alive. Hunters found her abandoned white Ford Escape on October 5th in, I think it's Kaibaba, Kaibaba National Forest.
Isn't it Kaibab?
According to the county sheriff office, which she said was officially reported missing on October 3rd. Law enforcement specifically had frantically looking for Grimm, which includes several social media updates that include photos with what she was last seen wearing, a distinctive tattoo on her left arm and a pet bearded dragon with a white escape. Grimm was on a cross-country trip from her home in San Diego to Connecticut for a family wedding call about a suspicious activity near a cemetery in Williams, Arizona.
Okay, yeah. So 9/28 is when the cemetery thing happened. Let me clarify some stuff. Found her car, but last seen in Flagstaff. Her vehicle was found on October 5th. Okay, so the cemetery encounter was 9/28. So yeah, a lot of things happened on 9/28.
About 18 miles from where her car was spotted in Ash Fork. How are you doing? The officer asked Grimm in the body cam footage, which was obtained reported by azfamily.com. I'm okay. How are you? Grimm responded. According to local news outlets, which reported that Grimm appears upset in the body cam footage, she repeatedly told the officer she was working on a photography project. I was just doing a photo shoot of the lost soldiers and I got a com. She mentioned that she didn't have a hotel because she planned on camping out for the night. The officers pointed out a nearby gas station area where she could sleep without being bothered, according to azfamily.com. And I'm going to show you on there.
Okay, yeah. So I'm not gonna play this whole part because I did go over this in my live. This exact article. He does let her know that she cannot camp because it is illegal to camp within the city limits. So he suggests that she goes to a Love's truck stop. He shows her the lights. And he's like, see those lights ahead? You can park there. You should be able to be safe and in your car. There's so many truckers in and out of there, truckers that you don't know, other people stopping by, traveling. I don't think that was such a good idea to send her to a gas station to sit and wait, like, and sleep overnight. That's sketchy to me. I like this idea, Leopard, and I should do it more because I have scribbles because I take my notes in pen. But it's okay. I'll rewrite them later, make them a lot more neater. Okay, let's see.
Exchange with a woodcutter who found her camping in a remote area of Ash Fork on September 30th. Grimm told that worker she was okay. Her family reported her missing on October 4th. The next day, the hunter reported a suspicious abandoned vehicle. Hunters reported a suspicious abandoned vehicle that police learned belonged to Grimm. The car was locked in a suspicious abandoned.
Okay, so are they saying that this same hunter / woodcutter is the one who reported her suspicious abandoned vehicle? I'm just curious if it was the same hunter, because it says the next day the hunter reported. So I wonder if that was the same person who reported her car missing, and that's the guy who spoke to her. Ooh. Hey, Daisy in chat, just stopping by to say hello and hope about. Oh, thank you, Kristen. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving as well. No, not when you're by yourself. That seems to be a problem nowadays. Yeah, I would not park at a gas station. No. But yeah, so I'm just trying to figure out who reported her vehicle. Either way, it says the hunter. So I'm just going to put and when did he call? The next day. It just says the next day. So the woodcutter talked to her on 9:30, and then the next day, a hunter reported abandoned vehicle. The next day would not be October 5th. They were saying that the car was found on October 5th. So this article is very confusing. But
reported a suspicious abandoned vehicle. Hunters reported a suspicion inside, and her bearded dragon named Roz or Roxy also were missing, according to police. The sheriff's office didn't immediately respond to Fox News Digital's request for comment Saturday. And that was her car. This road, and you would get two flat tires. To me, there's one of two things that are going on here when I look at this. One, she flattened the tires and wandered off somewhere, or took a ride with someone, or had maybe been planning this disappearance with somebody. Or two, someone came along took her and flattened the tires. I mean, it's just very odd. One tire, I get it, but two on the same side. What is the possibility of that out on that dirt road? I mean, the dirt road looks pretty flat. It doesn't look like it's obstructed with anything. You know, that's what's just very odd about this. And when I saw the photos, I'm like, that's definitely someone did that on purpose. You know, what is the odds that, what is the odds that you've ever been out in
Yeah, I agree with what he's saying. And it just makes me wonder if she was having issues with this ex. What if he did follow her out there? What if he's the one who flattened the tires? Or even if it's just somebody he knew, you know, what if it was somebody who he got to follow her out there? And this is just me throwing things out there, theories and my opinions. I mean, I don't see her flattening her own tires. That would be, I just don't see that happening. Okay, so it is separate times and different men. Okay, that makes sense. Thank you. The Ranger interviews both. Okay, and there is video on his channel. I figured we would catch up. But yeah, I don't think that she did that.
anywhere and gotten two flat tires both at once on the same side? It's just very odd. The sheriff's office is asking anyone to remember seeing or having any contact with Chelsea and her bearded dragon to please call the sheriff's office at 928-7.
Okay.
The average American wastes over 1,000.
And News 12. We can't wait to get. Let's see. This is kind of it's excruciating. You wouldn't wish it on anyone, said Stephen Grimm, Chelsea's father. It's been just a horrible, horrible, horrible experience, said Janet Grimm, Chelsea's mother.
Okay, I'm just trying to read through because I think I went over this one also on my page. Yeah, that she left on the 24th to Connecticut. Okay, so I didn't know that information. So she actually left San Diego on 9/24. Okay. So we have like 4 days in between where a lot of stuff happened. It's basically a lizard, 12 to 16 inches long. On the 27th, she called her parents and said she wasn't going to make it to the wedding. She said she thinks she's going to just take a couple of days in camp. Was camping something that was typical for her, or was that unusual for you to hear that she may have stopped to camp? They asked, I guess, the parents, and they said it was a little unusual. She had a lot of camping experience over her teen years, but hadn't done a lot of it since. But she is a capable outdoors person. So let's see. On the 28th, she was seen in Williams, Arizona. So we have that information. Let's see. By October 4th, her parents had not heard from her, so they reported her missing. Her mom said they spoke on a close to daily basis. On October 5th, hunters northeast of Ash Fork, Arizona, in the Kaibab National Forest reported a suspicious white Ford Escape with two flat tires parked on a Forest Service road. They had noticed it 2 days prior on their journey in and were surprised to see it still sitting there. Okay, so see, that's good information. So they, on October 5th, is when they reported the vehicle, but they spotted it 2 days prior. So that means on October 3rd, it was initially spotted and was still out there. And they were just surprised to see it. So I'm glad I read that again. So yeah, seems like her car was actually missing on October 3rd. Sorry, I was caught up in the video. Let's see where I left off. If I want to know if the tires are punctured or not. Yeah, same. I want to know the condition, like if they investigated how the tires got blown out. I'm going to write that down and highlight, because if I do get to talk to the sister or anybody in the family, I just want to remember all these questions. Hello, Crochet. I dropped your link earlier, but as usual, y'all can type in link drop for those who might not have gotten it, but not many people have come in. But I did drop your link. Let's see, that's not true. If she hit something or if there was debris in the road, it actually makes the most sense for two tires on the same side. Yeah, and see, that's what I was thinking because, like, I live in the country. I mean, there's lots of farmland. There's lots of places like the tractors and stuff go. And if a car or an SUV would happen to go down one of those roads, and there are things like Blonde is saying, that like debris and whatever else you can find, because you never know. I mean, like around here, people go riding back there, throw things out the window, whatever. I could see that totally happening, especially both on the same side. So that could have been accidental. And then she realized, what am I going to do? So she takes everything except for her camera and gets out of her car to go camping. But to me, that there's just more to it. And she did lock her vehicle. I just don't understand why she left her camera if she was a photographer. That's what's bothering me the most, is the camera. Hey, Furious Georgia. Well, you're lucky. This is actually the very beginning of the case, if you want to stick around, Georgia, because I am going back to the beginning since not many people are talking about it. This guy I reached out to on Twitter, and he gave me the okay to use his playlist. And this is the very, very first playlist. So we know that she was last seen on 9/28. She was a photographer. She was on her way to a wedding. She canceled those plans, decided to go camping instead. Love you. She decided to go camping instead. She was seen by a police officer. That encounter was on 9/28. She also went to a hotel on 9/28 and tried to pay in euros. Lots of little things, but she didn't miss much. As far as we know right now, she was reported October 4th. Her vehicle was located October 3rd, but the hunters reported it on October 5th that it was abandoned. She had taken pretty much everything out of it. It was locked. The only thing she left behind was her camera, which is where that boggles me. That boggles a lot of people's minds. Why did she leave the camera behind? She did speak to a Williams neighbor, which is Williams, Arizona, on 9/28. There's not much details about that I've gotten to yet. Her phone and credit card activity did stop. She talked to a woodcutter on 9/30. So maybe we'll come across that in here and more information on that interview. As of October 13th, her ex-boyfriend had been cleared. He was not a person of interest because there was rumors going around that maybe he was. I do know that her ex-boyfriend is now in jail. I don't know his charges, but again, I'm starting from the beginning, so I'll get to that. But that's pretty much where we're at. So you didn't miss a whole lot because I am starting from the beginning. Wiccan, good afternoon. Thank you for being here. Let's see. I miss. Okay, everyone's saying hi. I was going to sit and read for a bit, but I saw you were like, oh, thank you, Wiccan. I appreciate it. Yeah, this case is one that's just it's bothering me. For me to want to do lives every day and catch up with you guys and see what we can come up with, like it's bugging me. Crochet link drop didn't work. Oh, you don't have to do the exclamation mark. You just type in the word link drop. And yeah, that's the sad thing, Wiccan. Not a lot of people have. And that's why I'm doing this. This is why we want more eyes and ears to hear about Chelsea Grimm. There are pages on Facebook where you can find out about her. And like I said earlier, if you weren't here, a lot of people are thinking she wants to be missing, like she wants to start her life over. And this is just theories. No one has any solid evidence on that, but there's nothing. They've done searches all around the area where she was last seen. Like, we haven't heard anything. So it's very bizarre. It's a very, very strange case. Thank you, Leopard Print. Link drop should work. It worked for me. Let's see. What was Blind's question? Oh, where was the camera left? Yes, it was in her vehicle. So Leopard. So if you do, I think it's this and oops, commands maybe. Where in the vehicle? I don't think that they specified, but somewhere in the vehicle. I don't know if they said the front seat. I don't know if they've been specific about it, Blind. Yeah, see, I assume the front seat too. Let's see. Where in car was the camera found? My writing is so bad that I hope I can understand all this later, so I can rewrite it. Yeah, it is. All the details matter. All of them matter. Yeah, I don't think we've heard anything about the car. We don't have much details about anything about the vehicle, Blind. They haven't released that. That's what I said. They either know a lot and they're holding it back, or they just don't know much. And that's the thing. I don't think she wants to be missing. Well, he'll go into detail on why he believes that. It's like her parents lived on the East Coast. She moved to the West Coast. I forgot how many years ago. They had a kind of restrained relationship. She was in a toxic relationship with her ex. I think there were exchanges or conversations made with her friends about like things she was going through. So it's just kind of like a theory, a speculation that maybe she just wants to be missing. But like I've said before, it doesn't matter if someone wants to be missing or not. Whether that's the case or not, that doesn't mean that they're safe. They could still be in a dangerous situation. They could still have gotten somewhere that they weren't safe, that someone was watching and took advantage. And like, you never know. You never know. So either way, whether she wants to be missing or not, I still think that we need proof of life and we need some kind of statement from her if that's true. Not that she's, not that we're obligated to get that from her, but it would be nice to know if she's safe or not. Yeah, so Leopard, this comment right here, if you click on the link, it'll tell you a list of commands that you can type. But it's like, it's an exclamation mark before each one. And then you can do like blind, crochet, Lee, stoned, male. And then you can do like, I think it's welcome. You can do drama if we have drama, but we usually don't. Trigger for trigger warnings, things like that. Did she have friends or relatives from Europe? Not that we've heard. That's what we're trying to figure out. Where did she get the euros? Where did she do the exchange at? Because you usually have to go to the local, forgot what it's called, but you have to do like the exchange, I don't know why she had euros on her. I don't know if she had been on a recent trip to Europe. These are all things that I want to find out. So thank you, Blind. Why did she have euros? Yeah, that's facts, Wendy. Facts. Thank you, Blind, for being here. Because, yeah, sometimes it does help to have a guy's perspective on a lot of things. It sure does. I had heard she was a baby Christian. Like you mean like she had just become a Christian? Like, I did hear some stuff about religions. It's probably on this channel, but when I get up to the more recent stuff. Are there any potential men that are suspects? No. She does have an ex that a lot of, I don't even know who these people are because it was just speculation and rumor. We're just going around saying that she was afraid of him, that they didn't have a very good relationship. So all of these things were just hearsay. I don't know if they're true. I do know that the sister her actual sister on her Facebook did post that the ex-boyfriend had made a GoFundMe page and that it was fraudulent and for no one to donate to it because he was not going to be using the money to actually look for Chelsea at all. She put that on Twitter, Facebook, it was everywhere. So I do know that as far as like the ex-boyfriend. So he is in jail at this moment, as far as I know. I just don't know his charges, and neither does this guy, unless he's come up with something recently. But I'm starting over at the beginning, so I'll try to get there. So she was just saved learning about Jesus. Yeah. The ex starting a GoFundMe, and I just had it up earlier. Hold on. Ooh. Let me pull it up. Chelsea Grimm, GoFundMe. Okay. Yeah. So I think his name is Philip Brenner because when I was watching it yesterday on LTL, just the channel we've been sharing, he points out that Philip Brenner is the ex. Okay, so on here, that's a very long. He says, I'm Philip, Chelsea Grimm's fiance. We have lived together. Okay, and that was another thing. Some people are saying that he wasn't a fiance. Some people had said they had broken up. So that's something that's not clear. We have lived together for 8 months and known each other for years. I am extremely close, and she is my other half. She has been missing since 28th of September, and her car was found October 5th, left out of gas with a flat tire on a side road by Ashford, Arizona, in the dispersed camping area. She was only supposed to be gone for a week. She is the most amazing woman I've ever met, and she's the love of my life, and I'm so scared, and I'm here with people with ATVs and drones. And I came in our truck from Ocean Beach last night and some friends looking for her, spreading flyers around and finding clues to her abrupt disappearance. I've spent several thousand getting people here and for gas and things like binoculars and would like to push efforts and do the most. And donation is what is driving this. Please help find my baby girl. I miss her so much. I want to know what happened. She was supposed to be camping. Now she's gone. There are no clues or anyone seeing her after her car was left, although there are a few people who saw her right before, including a police interaction at a cemetery she was photographing and a gas station clerk. She took some photos and said, I'm going into nature, and it's been 2 weeks. It is expensive to search, and I'm putting 100% of what I have into finding her. Our goal is $30,000 because this may be ongoing, and we need to be prepared to spend this amount of money. It needs to escalate quickly. Me and my best friend Elias are here in Williams. We did an interview with Williams Grand Canyon News. Okay, so he has a best friend named Elias. I'm glad that I came across this because there is an interview that this podcaster that we're watching does with the friend Elias. So that is something I can't wait to get to. And he says it's her birthday. Let's find her. I'm very emotional right now. Feel free to contact me, direct message me, Philip or Elias Avellaneda. Or, okay, so I'm going to write his name down. But this is the GoFundMe that the sister was like, do not donate to. It is a fraud. So I'm not sure where or why that happened, but that's that. Let's see. Does she have a criminal history? Not that I know of. Not that I know of. Let me see. This is the ex's friend. I want to get myself mixed up here. The ex's friend. Does she have a criminal history? I think that the only thing they mentioned was like a mental health history, but I didn't hear anything about a criminal history. You never know. The euros could have come from something shady, not really an easy thing to get for an average American. Right. I think that it's important to know where those euros came from. I think that's important also. I was wondering about the euros too. You can get them at a bank, I believe. It is very strange on first. I don't know why he's been arrested yet, Leopard. Philip Brenner. I looked up his arrest earlier. Let's see if I can find anything again. Okay. Philip. I don't even know where he was arrested at. Chelsea Grimm. Let's see. Because the only thing I see that comes up with that is JLR, and I don't really want to. Huh?
Are they cooking anything?
Yes, they're cooking.
What are they cooking?
Gumbo.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Okay. Let's see. Arrested. Philip Brenner arrested. Breaking. See, all I found is anything by JLR Investigates, and that's another person that I don't know if I trust 100%. Let me just see if he has anything. Okay. He has a YouTube video. Ex-boyfriend of missing 32-year-old Chelsea Grimm arrested Philip John Brenner. We break down his charges. So that might be something we can, if y'all are interested in. I don't know if I trust the source, but I mean, if he has official documents, I don't mind going over stuff like that. Not all or any banks would do exchanges. Yeah, and isn't there a place that you go, not a bank? I've heard of different places that you can go to do exchange, like at the tourism centers. Some of them have them, like some of the bigger states. I'm not sure. Yeah, Mom First. The news is very, very, very scarce on this case. Most of the information that anyone is getting is by speaking to friends and family. So, Bond, I have heard that there was over 300 pictures on her camera. A lot of them, they must have been able to get some kind of warrant or something. I don't know, because a lot of the actually, look on this screen right here, if you can see my mouse. Right here in this little area right here.
I'm going to make it.
This picture was from her camera, so they were able to release pictures from the camera, so they found a lot. Right. I'm just gonna see if he has an official document. If not, I'll just keep digging. So let me see what he shows. If he shows an actual document, cool. If not, then I don't want to hear it. Okay, no, he goes over his GoFundMe. Okay, so why is that blurry? It's bothering me. Okay. I'm gonna just show this part of his video. This is all clear, so I'm not sure why this is not clear, but this was the sister, Sarah McCarthy Grimm. So she is the official sister. She's been updating the page all the time. Here's her thing about do not donate to any GoFundMe pages. They are fraudulent. The one we know of is by her abusive ex, Philip John Brenner, aka PJ, who is claiming to be her fiance. So that's what I'm saying about it's very sketchy with him. But wait, hold on. I thought I just, okay. So the only thing he has right here, oh, God dang it. Okay. Failure to appear. So his violation date, so this was something that was way before him and Chelsea. So that's why they said it's unrelated charges. I don't know what his violation was, but it was in June of 2020. And then it says on October 23rd is they put out a failure to appear, and I'm guessing that's why he was arrested. So those of you who know more about that, why would the violation be in 2020 and now they're just now sending out the thing for failure to appear? I don't understand that. So February 12, 2020, charges filed February 14th, crime location, Williamson General Sessions, charge category criminal. There's an offense code and an offense, aggravated criminal trespassing. So there you go. So this is his charge. Let me, I'm gonna have to save this so I can go back to it. And get information from it. But there you go. So aggravated criminal trespassing is why the boyfriend was arrested. I mean, that happened in 2020. So I guess it was bound to catch up with him. Sorry, I've been ignoring y'all. I'm just trying to see if he has anything official. Okay. He don't. So share this tab again, and let me check back in with you guys. Yeah, so definitely aggravated criminal trespassing is something that the ex-boyfriend had been involved with. I missed that. Yeah, so she went to, I think, 2 places. I know for sure she went to a motel, Georgia, and tried to use euros to pay. And that's why this podcaster that we're watching, he thinks that maybe she wanted to use euros because that way she can't be tracked if she is trying to maybe get away. Maybe if it's just the boyfriend, the ex-boyfriend, but if she's just trying to get away from him, like that's what we don't know. But then again, he's arrested now. So I hope that he either talks about what he knows or that maybe she comes out of hiding if that's where she's at. I don't know. But yeah, it's just strange. I don't know why she had the euros. Okay. If you guys are talking to the family, I'd love to help with questions. Yeah, I'm trying to get in touch with the sister blind, so I'll give you her name and we can try to get in touch with her too. And yeah, it was a warrant. So they picked him up so they could get his DNA or something, just to guess. That's a good idea. That's, Yeah, I think the boyfriend is sus too. What if she was crying at the cemetery because of an argument with the ex-boyfriend? Like, we never know. We truly, truly don't know.
In time for the wedding, instead she was planning on stopping in a camp in Arizona for a few days. She said, I think I'm just going to take a couple of days in camp and I'll get back to you. Please don't expect to hear from me for a couple of days. That's odd. That's very odd.
Yeah, so see, that's what makes me think that it's like she knew she wasn't going to be in contact with anyone. Why would she tell her parents, I'll get back to you. Please don't expect to hear from me for a couple of days. And this was on the 27th.
Was camping something that she typically did for her, that she would typically do, or unusual for her to hear that she may have stopped to camp, asked 12 News reporter Bianca Bueno. And a lot of it since. And she's capable of. Okay. Chelsea was seen in Williams, Arizona, according to the sheriff's office. By the 4th, her parents had not heard from her, so they reported her missing to Phoenix PD. Her mom said they spoke on a cliff.
Okay, we already listened to all this.
National Forest reported a suspicious white 2019 Ford Escape. And that's the thing, too, is that the reports have been different about what kind of SUV she actually has. Now, I've read a couple of reports that she has the Escape, and I think the other one was a Kia. I believe that it's a Ford Escape. I mean, we can go back and look at photos as well. I think it was a Ford Escape. With two flat tires parked on a Forest Service road, they had noticed in 2 days prior to their jury-ins.
What was the other vehicle that he said? The Escape, or what was the other one that they were saying?
The Hunter Escape. I mean, we can go back and look that she has the Escape, and I think the other one was a Kia. I believe the hunters had seen this. It was found. They reported it on the 5th, They saw it on the 3rd as they were going in to the National Forest, and they said they were surprised to still see it there. Yeah, that's a what is that? That's a Ford Escape. Her pet was gone. Her wallet and credit cards and debit cards. Her driver's license was gone. Some clothes, I'm assuming clothes, and a sleeping bag are gone. She may have gotten a ride because she was on the road where her car is, or was a rural dirt road, not a highway. Chelsea's camera was left behind in her car, is where the county sheriff's office found most of the recent photos taken by her. So this must be one of them right here. Officials launched a search effort in the area from air to foot. They say no foul play is suspected. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting because on the other article, remember they were saying foul play was suspected, and right here they're saying that it's not suspected.
Even if it seems trivial, we're hoping that someone saw her. Chelsea's family and friends are urging police to think back and come forward with any information. They look forward to the day that she wake up and they talk with her daughter again. We can't wait to get our baby girl back. And again,
We start tonight with the defense before she disappeared here in Arizona. That is where we start this Saturday night here on 12 News at 10 o'clock. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Jonathan McCall. 32-year-old Chelsea Grimm was seen in Williams, just west of Flagstaff, back on September 30th. 12 News journalist Jade Cunningham just finished watching that body cam video frame by frame and shows us what Grimm told officers.
Hello. How are you doing? I'm okay. How are you?
Okay. Before we get into this, I want to catch up on chat real quick, just to make sure I'm answering everybody. You mentioned she may suffer with mental illness. Now, the Euros at the motel, since I don't know anything, I will do my due diligence with this case. Yeah, it is very alarming that she was trying to use Euros instead of, American money, cash, or what have you. But they did say her credit card activity had stopped. So that makes you wonder, did she call that in and have that turned off? Like, did she decide to, I don't know. Why would I don't know. I'm just confused with the Euros as well. Did she text them not to contact her for a few days, or did she tell them that in person? I do believe they said that it was a phone call, Wicken. Yeah, I think it was a phone call. Okay, so here's the body cam footage. I had never watched this either, so we're going to watch this together.
Hold officers.
Hello. How are you doing? I'm okay. How are you?
The interaction lasts about 7.5 minutes.
I'm doing great. Are you doing all right? Yeah.
And shows 32-year-old Chelsea Grimm just a few days before reportedly disappearing.
I just was doing a photo shoot of the lost soldiers and got a little emotional, so I was crying before I got back on the road.
The body cam footage from September 28th was taken by Williams police, who responded to a call of suspicious activity at the Williams Cemetery.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, you're quite all right. I was just doing a photo shoot, yeah.
At one point, the officer asks her if she has a hotel to stay at, and she says she didn't.
I don't. I was actually thinking of just camping for the night, but I wasn't really sure exactly yet. Gotcha. I didn't plan to be here till sunset. Okay.
According to family, Grimm was driving from San Diego to Connecticut for a wedding, but in Arizona, she told them she wouldn't make it and was going camping instead. That was the last they heard from her, and reported her missing October 4th.
I was contacted by the Coconino Sheriff's Department on the 5th that some hunters had found her car with 2 flat tires, and she was not in it. The car was locked, and they couldn't find any trace of Chelsea at that point.
Her 2019 white Ford Escape was found north from where the traffic stop happened a week earlier. Grimm's wallet, some clothes, a sleeping bag, and her pet.
So between the traffic stop and her vehicle being found, there was a week in between that happening. It's been a long time, Daisy, since anyone has seen or heard from Chelsea, like forever for her family. Right. It's been like almost 2 months. They haven't heard from her since September 27th. It is November 25th. It's been almost 2 months that she has been missing, and we have nothing. Yeah, this is one of the theories that Brian thinks. And when I say Brian, it's this guy here, this podcaster. That's what he seems to think. And that's why he thinks that maybe she was just trying to start a new life, trying to get away from someone or something. And again, he's just speculating because nobody knows anything for sure. But yeah, what does it say? At least banks did it in the past, but the fact the banks are in trouble again, who knows? Yeah, the Euros is definitely going to be strange. Something that we definitely need to know more about.
Bearded Dragon Rozzy were also gone. Coconino Sheriff Jim Driscoll says foul play is possible.
It's certainly a possibility. we focus on both the person is potentially lost or that there's foul play.
Just hang out here however long you want. You're good to go.
Awesome.
In the footage, the officer tells Grimm where a safe spot to rest is.
You got it.
Appreciate your compassion.
And walks away.
Yeah, you got it. Have a great rest of your day.
And as authorities now investigate her disappearance, her family hanging on to hope this conversation won't be her last. Jade Cunningham, 12 News.
Jade, thank you. Investigators say 2 days after that conversation with police, a woodcutter told them that he talked with Grimm where her car was later found. He said that she told him that she did not need any help and that she was out taking pictures. Anyone with information on the case now urged to call the Coconino County Sheriff's Office.
Are you still interested in a solar-powered
Sorry about these ads.
Back on September 28th in Williams, Arizona. Days later, her car found just outside of Ash Fork with 2 flat tires. That's where we start this Thursday night here on 12 News at 10 o'clock. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Jonathan McCall. 12 News journalist Bianca Bono talking with Chelsea's parents tonight. And Bianca, the big question.
Where her parents live when she told them she decided to stop and camp in Arizona for a couple of days. Now they're asking the public to share Chelsea's photo as much as possible with the hopes that someone saw her.
The poll and click on it, and then it will drop down.
2 weeks since Steve.
It's been just a horrible, horrible, horrible experience.
On September 24th, Chelsea Grimm left her. The 32-year-old with a master's degree from NYU in clinical social work was alone, with the exception of her pet bearded dragon. 3 days later, her parents got a call.
She had gotten as far as Arizona, and she called us and said, I don't think I'm going to make the wedding. I don't think I can get there in time. She said, I think what I'm going to do is just.
Yeah, see, there's the confirmation that was saying that it was a phone call. So it wasn't a text, it was a phone call.
Take a couple of days and camp. I'll get back to you. Please don't expect to hear from me for a couple of days.
I mean, do we think this could be a mental health issue? And hopefully, she didn't hurt herself. Could it be that? I mean, that's what I'm kind of feeling right now, was a mental health issue. I mean, she was visually upset when the police officers came upon her. Everybody that asked if she needed help, she didn't want any help. She said she was fine. She's called out to her parents and said, hey, I don't think I'm going to make the wedding. Was this something that was maybe planned? Was she planning this for a while? Having that time to think, to drive all the way from San Diego to California. That's a lot of time to think. And she got out in Arizona and just decided maybe this is where and listen, I'm not assuming. I don't want to assume. We want Chelsea to come back home. We want to make sure she's okay. I hope there was no foul play. And I hope that she didn't decide, to hurt herself, of course. Maybe it's just odd. The 2 flat tires, her belongings are gone. The car was locked. Her activity on her debit card stopped. It's very strange.
He's making a lot of very, very good points. It's like you don't want to assume, but as a creator, we're theorizing and just speculating with the information that we have of what the possibilities could be. But honestly, we really don't know anything because we don't know Chelsea. We don't know a lot of her past. We don't know. There's a lot of missing pieces. So it's going to be really, really, it's going to be really tough, but we're not going to give up. That's for sure.
And you're literally in the middle of nowhere. So the thing that I find odd is I just don't feel in my gut that I feel like someone would have just picked her up and took off with her, because there's not going to be many people in that area. All right, let's keep playing through this.
Suspicious car parked with 2 flat tires. According to the Coconino County Sheriff's Office, the car, a 2019 white Ford Escape, was Chelsea's, only she was nowhere to be found.
Her pet was gone. Her wallet with her credit card, her debit card, her driver's license was gone. Clothes and a sleeping bag were gone.
Chelsea's camera was left behind in her car, which is where the sheriff's office found the most recent photos taken by her. Officials immediately launching a search effort in the area from the air and on the ground. They say no foul play is suspected.
Even if they to get our baby girl back.
So we
Was
watched this.
pinged, but unfortunately it was turned off on either September 28th or the 29th.
That's concerning too.
Mm-hmm.
That her cell phone was turned off. They did try to ping it.
They say her phone was pinged, but unfortunately it was turned off on either September 28th or the 29th.
So to me, this sounds like she's trying to hide or disappear, or unfortunately maybe try to hurt herself.
I hope that's not the case.
I don't know.
That he's wrong with that.
Williams police officer without her in it came to check on her Chelsea appears to be upset and explains she was working on a photography project.
Are you doing all right?
Yeah, I just was doing a photo shoot of the lost soldiers and got a little emotional, so I was crying before I got back on the road.
Her disappearance, days after this video was recorded, has both family and authorities confused, searching high and low for tips as to where she went. Here's what we know so far. Chelsea planned to drive from her home in San Diego to Connecticut to meet her family for a wedding, but she told her family she was stopping to camp in Arizona instead. Investigators know on September 27th, she met a friend in Phoenix, then canceled lunch with that friend the next day.
I just don't. I mean, I get it. Tsunami says the battery could have gone dead. Was there fuel left in the car? How were the tires flattened? That's the thing. That is virtually impossible for all that stuff to happen. Let's just say her battery dies, she runs out of gas, and all of a sudden you're gonna have 2 flat tires. To me, it seems like someone flattened those tires on purpose. Someone slashed those tires on purpose.
I just wish we had more information from the police to know how those tires ended up flat. What condition were they in? What did it show? Like, what did it look like? Ditto, thinking mental health issue too, but Arizona has a lot of human trafficking going on, and Chelsea was in a very remote part of Arizona. Yeah. 2 months later, I don't know.
There's a grave site there about lost soldiers. It's a soldiers' cemetery. So she was out in that cemetery saying that she was taking photos.
September 28th, she surfaces in Williams and has that conversation with the officer, telling him she's planning to camp nearby.
Yeah, if it's okay with you, if I hang out here for another like 15 or 20 and then head on the road, that would be my plan, I think.
Do you have like a hotel around here or anything?
I don't. I was actually thinking of just camping for the night, but I wasn't really sure exactly yet.
Gotcha.
I didn't plan to be here till sunset.
The yellow lights over there, the Loves?
So I'm going to tell you what he means by the Loves. That's actually like a truck stop. That's just right up the road from the cemetery, and we'll be able to see it on the map when I pull that up.
It's a trucker stop in the gas station here. You can just sleep there. Nobody will bother you.
Awesome. Yeah, love that.
The sheriff's office says on September 30th, a woodcutter in an area near Ash Fork, Arizona, sees Chelsea camping in her car, talks to her, and she says she's okay. But that's the last known contact she had with anyone.
We're trying our best to hold on to the positive outcome scenarios and put our faith in the authorities.
On October 4th, her parents report her missing. And on October 5th, hunters in the same rural area find her abandoned.
So Furious Georgia, this is LTL podcast. True crime podcast is how you find it on YouTube. And his name is Brian. I forget his last name, but I came across him on my feed the other day looking for new information on Chelsea, and he's literally one of the only people still covering her case. Like, even as recent as like 5 days ago. So I decided to go to his playlist and start over from the beginning because I missed a lot. I was covering her case and then I went on vacation, and so much has happened since then. So coming across his channel was a blessing, and I did get in touch with him, and he did give me the okay to use his content. So I'm very thankful for that. So that's all I'm doing is kind of just going back to the beginning. But yeah, his name is Brian, and it's LTL True Crime Podcast. No problem.
Ford Focus SUV in the middle of a dirt road with flat tires.
Did she just say a Ford Focus? Okay, so it's a Ford Escape, they said, and then Kia, now they're Ford, what? Pretty sure it's an Escape.
Now they're saying this is a Ford Focus. So it went from a Ford Escape, a Ford Focus. You know, the media's got to get this straight. You have someone that's missing.
Mm-hmm.
Get the car correct.
All that's matter.
It was locked. Many of her belongings were found inside, but there was no trace of her, and all cell phone and credit card activity has since stopped. The Coconino County Sheriff's Office says while they don't suspect foul play at this point, they're trying to figure out if she got in another vehicle or if she hiked out. Either way, by the time they began investigating her disappearance, it had already been 5 days since the last time anyone saw her alive. The sheriff.
So by the time she was even reported missing, it had already been 5 days. Like, the first 48 hours are so important.
Office tells me they're actively working with her family and friends on any tips and leads. She also has a pet bearded dragon that is a good identifying factor and possible clue to her whereabouts if it's on top of this.
All right, let's pull up the map here. I got a map. Oh, tell me I just closed it. Son of a beeswax. I was on that map. It's our broadcast day. Let's go to Google Earth. Okay, so we're going to trace out Chelsea's steps. So originally, Chelsea would have started here in San Diego. I'm going to try to enlarge this as much as I can. So we look to San Diego. Chelsea leaves her home in San Diego on September 24th alone to travel to Connecticut for her family and a wedding. So that would have taken her all the way across the country here to her end destination to take part in a wedding and to visit her parents. Okay. Can everybody see the map okay? Just let me know in the comments. So now we're going to go from Chelsea's home. So let me make sure everybody can see. To the next information that comes up, and this is not working the way I wanted to, is on September 27th, Chelsea called her parents from Phoenix, Arizona, and said she was going to not make it in time for the wedding. Instead, she planned to stop and camp in Arizona for a couple of days. So if we trace that, you have Chelsea's home, and she got to Phoenix. Odd. She would call her parents on the 27th.
So
that is almost 300 miles.
Wow.
She's already driven. Okay. So when she gets to Phoenix, she meets with a friend on the 27th, the same day. So we don't know if it was she met with a friend first and then made the phone call to her parents. Maybe she met with the friend first and thought, hey, I'll just hang out here for a couple of days. And then let's just say she was in depression or something like that. Then after the fact, she thought about something and said, maybe, I don't know, maybe she's going to hurt herself, thinking about hurting herself, again.
Oh, I don't know, but I think it's awesome that he did the mapping out stuff. So I'm gonna drop his channel again real quick, just in case. Oh, I did pin it at the top too. Sorry about that. But I did pin his channel at the top if anyone is interested. Where did it go? Okay. Okay.
And we're only speculating at this point. So on the 27th, she meets with a friend in Phoenix, plans to have lunch that next day. Now, here's the odd part.
Jesus.
This is the friend in Phoenix, plans to have lunch that next day. Now, here's the odd part. This is the strange part here. So the next step in all of this, on the 27th, so the sheriff office says they trace Grimm's step back to the 27th when she met with her friend in Phoenix. The following day, that would be the 28th, she canceled the lunch with her friend. Later that day, she was reported to be disorientated when she tried to book a motel in Siegelman, which is near Williams. We were told by one individual that she seemed confused when she was in Siegelman. She was trying to exchange euros as opposed to U.S. currency, said Driscoll. So if we take the ride from Phoenix up to Siegelman, I'm going to pull the map back here. That's 137 miles. So she drove north.
Wow.
So she gets north now. And this is where she tried to book that hotel. And it was odd. She's in there. She's disorientated. She is trying, she's confused. She's trying to exchange euros for U.S. currency. So now the next spot that she's seen is she's spotted in Williams, Arizona. Danielle says maybe she could have been drugged. Tsunami says, where did she get the euros? Maybe that was a sign. Mindy says another red flag. It's very strange. Bella says something's off. This is odd. Frasier, this is odd. One of the apps cards until she stopped. Now she only uses cash. All right. So now we're at the 28th where she gets spotted in Williams. So let's go to that. So you can see she travels over to Williams. This is what I should have before. This is the cemetery. On September 28th, she canceled lunch with a friend. Actually, that was on the 27th. I apologize. Spotted in Williams, talking to the officer that night on a body cam in Williams Cemetery. And this is the cemetery that she was at. Let's go right down there on the street. We can get a view.
So she had gotten pretty far. Like she was doing a lot of traveling.
This is that cemetery she was at. And you can see, here's all the gravestones. And she was seen parked in here. Let's go up and read the street sign. An Arizona Main Street community, RV parks, Grand Canyon. So she's right around the Grand Canyon.
Dang.
Tsunami said, how did she know about that cemetery?
Yeah, really. It's kind of rural. It's in a very rural area.
Carrie says maybe she just wanted to disappear. Could be. 3D map here. Let me pull the tab. Actually, I like the 2D when we do this. Okay, let me back up. So let me get north again. We'll spin around north. She's spotted in Williams. When she's in Williams, she has that conversation with that officer. Oh, and by the way, that travel was 38 miles. So she was in Siegelman, and she drove 38 miles east to Williams. Yeah, Carrie, I put like 4 hours into this day. I had to read through all those articles and get all this together. It was good, though, because now I have a better idea how I want to do this going on, because I think it's...
Shout out to him for how he does his podcast, because he's very, very organized, and he does the mapping. I don't do maps. So I very much appreciate how he does his podcast.
It's a good presentation. I was going to do it in Canva, but then I was like, hey, you know what? I just literally pulled up Google Earth, started learning it, and I said, well, we're going to do it this way because I think it's a lot better. It's a better presentation because we can see right on the Earth, on Google Earth. Shara says she's an artist and photographer, well-traveled. It's not surprising for her to want to photograph something meaningful. Would explain the Euros. She must have traveled the world. Could be possible. Thanks, Danielle. Appreciate it. Out in Williams. Now, when she's in Williams in that cemetery, the police officer says, hey, if you want to not stay here tonight, there's a Love's gas station that's right up the road. And he pointed. That is here. And, we'll look. How far was that? I didn't pin it out, but we can figure out. It's probably less than a couple of miles. Oops. So let's go from here. There's the Love's gas station. It's about 2 miles. Okay. 2 miles. I don't know where'd my little guy go? Oh, here it is. So let's go right down there and look. What's that area look like? Oh, I'm gonna click into it. Come on, little bugger. There we go. There's the gas station right here. That's Love's. SJ says, I'm confused. She didn't know what... Well, they said she was disorientated. She seemed shaken up and tried to come in and exchange euros for U.S. cash. So something's going on. And this was the Love's. You can see it here. That Love's gas station that he pointed out. Hey, you can go... Beautiful area, by the way. Amazing. Beautiful. The offices, you can stay in the Love's over here. No one will mess with you. There must be a little truck area up in this. You can see where the trucks are. So that was Williams. Let me get north again. We'll go to the 2D view. So,
gas station, truck stop in the boonies. No, thank you. Right? That's what I'm saying. And then just a truck stop in general. I don't know if I would exactly trust that. There's so many weird people who go through any gas stations, any truck stops, any of that stuff late at night. So I'm good. Okay, I'm just dropping this to make sure that the link works, so y'all don't click on it. Please don't feel free. I don't feel obligated to click on this. I want to make sure that it's actually working. Okay, yeah, it worked. Okay. That's gonna be an automatic thing, so I was just testing something out. So don't click on that. In fact, I'll go ahead and remove it because that's not what I was doing. Let's see. Okay, but yeah, no gas station. Daisy, facts matter. They are crucial. We all know how easy it is for misinformation to morph into truth or fact, especially months down. Yes, definitely. Everything can get so confusing, especially when you have multiple journalists and different articles that are having different contradicting statements and stuff. Oh, it's so hard sometimes to get the absolute truth.
From Williams, and then we had the cell phone tower ping. Now, the biggest tower that I could find in that area would be here, which is on top of Blue Williams Mountain. So I would figure that she's in that area. You know, you can see she's been in and around this area here. I would think this would probably be the tower that she pinged.
But then her phone goes off. So that's what's strange.
S.J. Howard. Something's not right about this. I mean, every part of her trip until she went off the grid. Hang on one second. You're streaming. You just need some. Okay. So we have the cell phone tower ping that was on the 27th of the 28th, and then her phone goes dead. That's the last time they could ping her phone. So after about the 28th, that's it. We don't hear anything. There's no more contact. Now, the next area she spotted in is in Ash Fork, Arizona. So let's see where that is from the map from here. That's going to take her over here. So she goes back west. And that was 16 miles from her last destination in Williams. So the sheriff's office said on September 30th, a woodcutter in the area of Ash Fork, Arizona, saw Grimm camping in her car, talked to her, and she said she was okay. It's almost like, to me, she ran this circle of maybe I'll go, maybe I won't go. It almost seemed like she was going to turn back home and go back home. She started heading west again, right?
We never really know what she was thinking. You know, what he is saying makes a lot of sense. You know, what if it was some kind of mental health thing? She was just debating, going back and forth on what she wanted to do. Does she want to go visit her parents and go to this wedding? Does she want to go home? Or is it the ex-boyfriend giving her trouble and she's trying to get away from him? Like, I have so many questions. Yeah, she did have her phone. However, the phone and credit card activity stopped. Let's see. I have it written in here somewhere. Phone and credit card activity stopped sometime around the 28th.
She started heading west again. So now she's here on September 30th. This is Ash Fork.
For a limited time, this right here, which is the Vanish.
Interlude.
Right in the backyard of this guy's yard. Oh my God.
Wow.
Hope she didn't end up here. Jesus.
That looks scary.
Post comments. The family has been asked folks not to contribute to her ex-boyfriend who created a GoFundMe and is claiming Chelsea was his fiance. Do you have the Facebook link?
I have that I showed on my first.
Can you email?
The first live I did with her shows the sister, and I just showed y'all the link, the post also.
I'd love to see that. It looks pretty rough. So she's in Ash Fork now. That's where she's been spotted. Now from there, the last time she's seen is way out here, where the National Forest is. And there are ways out there. I mean, I look, there's main roads that go out. You can see here. So you can get out there. So you could travel, out here on this highway and then get off into those little side roads. There's all these little like dirt roads. You can see one here. All these like farm roads or woodcutter roads.
It just seems so sketchy because there's nothing out there. It's in the middle of nowhere.
And that's the last they heard of her.
Yeah, she was seen on the 30th, but I don't know if she had her phone or not on the 30th. Right. Yeah, so her phone activity was turned off on the 28th. Remember, she did tell her parents on the 27th don't reach out to me. I will reach out to you in a few days. Like, don't expect to hear from me. And then, yeah, she was spotted on the 30th. And then, so she was out there for a day or two with her phone off. And yeah, it was desolate. It's so strange. I don't know. Maybe she was having some kind of mental breakdown. She just needed a mental health break. Something she was going through that made her turn her phone off. Maybe the ex-boyfriend was blowing up her phone, not leaving her alone, maybe trying to find her or locate her. Like, we really, really don't know. I really won't want to know the details of his arrest. Like, where was he when he got arrested? All of that stuff. Like, I'm going to have a lot of digging to do.
I don't know what the heck just happened here. Nothing is loading. Aha. Here we go. It says hunters found her abandoned white Ford Escape, which we think is a focus now, on October 5th in the Kaibabi National Forest, according to the county sheriff's office, which she was officially reported missing on October 3rd. It was locked with many of her possessions inside. It's interesting. If she did, we'll pull it up. Oh, awesome. I got the GoFundMe. Thank you. That's the... Oh, geez. Chelsea.
Okay, so it's the same one I went through.
And I came in our truck from the Ocean Beach last night with some friends looking for... Channel. He's my sister's fiance, but I have proof that she dumped him and that he's abusive and has extensive criminal record.
So this person was in his chat and said he's claiming he's my sister's fiance. Oh, so this is Chelsea's sister. Okay. But I have proof that she dumped him and that he is abusive and has an extensive criminal record. So there you go. That is, that's red flags. That gives me gives me chills. But that's Chelsea's sister on YouTube. So I don't know if I ever see her on any chats. Who she is. Maybe I can find her channel and maybe she has an email. There's definitely Facebook, so I'm gonna definitely try to reach out to her.
Good. Whoa. Is Chelsea your sister? No, that's part of the Facebook post that the girl was talking about. Okay.
I don't know if it was for a second time. I know that he had some kind of issues in 2020 with the trespassing. So that's what his arrest was for. And yeah, and I agree. This is very good information about that area. Very, very sketchy. Yeah, they picked him up on failure to appear. MJ, you can't see 32 to 63 because that's her name. This is Wendy. This is what we all know her by. Yeah, it concerns me too. Let's see. Maybe someone was controlling Chelsea. Maybe was holding her captive. Ooh, that's a scary thought, but it's also a possibility. You just never know. You're good, MJ. Neither did I. I'm doing all of this with you all. But okay, let's see how he responds to the sister talking to him.
Okay, I'm super confused. So you're just quoting from the Facebook post. Got it. I'm confused. What's going on?
So maybe that was just
I need to get the link to the Facebook account.
I'll just put maybe. Maybe.
I think I got it. Thank you, whoever sent them over. Yes. On now. Update. Excuse me. The sheriff's office continue to search for the missing person, Chelsea Grimm, and the sheriff's office released most recent photos taken by Miss Grimm on her and her bearded dragon pet Rosie. Okay, let's see. Fifth, probably. All right, so let's read some of the comments here. These are public. I can show them, right? It's public, right? Yeah, I can show these. All right, let's see this. Let's look at some of... Oh, now we can look at fill in more information. We saw her out scouting on the 29th off 124 Road west of Williams around 6:15 a.m. The first selfie pic is the location we seen her in. She was walking towards Johnson Canyon, calling in and giving more details. Does anyone know on the map where she is? I have property out there and maybe I can look. Do we have an age or any description? I was near Tucson today and we stopped at a McDonald's. There was a younger girl in the bathroom. I started talking to her about how hot it was outside. She was acting weird, didn't turn the sink water off, and I continued talking. She went to the paper towels, but the towels were on the sink. She asked me where I was from, and she said she visited there once with a friend in Kansas. When I left, she was headed back to the stall for some reason. She had long hair, nose ring, and no glasses. Not 100%, but it was not 100%. It was her, but she was acting funny. Ran across a news article after we got home and immensely looked up to see if the similars to those pictures. We have been out all day looking. Several hunters and passed the word around. We followed the road all the way up where the car was found, stopped and walked, called, honked horns. We'll be going again tomorrow. That's awesome. That's good work. Officer video. If she was traveling to a wedding, why would she be back there anyways? So much time has passed. So seen a vehicle on Forest Service Road 6 headed towards on west. She's found safe. Me and my grandson passed. So scary. Praying for her. The world is wicked. Let's see. I pray she's found safe. Me and my grandson seen a vehicle on Forest Service Road 6 headed towards on west, heading west on September 30th, about 6 a.m. No one was around there. If anyone has a real info, please call in. We want to find her, please. She is in... Pictures look like that, recovered from her photo. Does the vehicle have a flat tire? Hard to tell. Let's see. Arizona is one of the worst places to have someone go missing. It's quite obvious that there's spell involved, and this woman needs to be found. It's hard to find and be lost out there, especially during hunting season when all the camps are out there right now. You climb a hill and you generally see 100 I-40 or railroad tracks. If you're out looking, unfortunately, be looking for large groups of crows and ravens. Is there a license plate number? She looks like she's wearing sandals, perhaps got lost. In rugged country like that, sandals aren't good. And that offers a country like that, sandals aren't good.
God, I'm always freaking muted. All I was doing was reading this article right here, but they were just saying it was like hypothetically. And then right here in the officer's body cam video, she was crying and she was emotional. I'm surprised it was not posted on Williams Police Department Facebook. Okay, let's see.
Let me do this.
Sorry, let me catch up. MJ, we're all learning starting from the beginning. Yep. The way he did this is cool. I agree. We don't even know if she made it out of Arizona. Right. We don't know where she went after that last sighting. With 5 days before reported missing, Chelsea could be literally anywhere. Yes. Very true. So mind-boggling. I know. It's bugging me.
Hang on. Let me just pull my Facebook up. Okay, let's see.
His font is very, very small.
Chelsea missing at Ash Fork, 4/10/23, car found 10/5. I started work on August 5th, 2023. I think I saw Epstein and Brian Hewitt. Then the bleach concentrate episode was what?
What?
Then Chelsea from Ocean Beach was some weirdo. Urgent, please do not cooperate with this man in the attached or donated to his GoFundMe. He's claiming he's my sister's fiance, but I have proof that she dumped him and that he's abusive. His name is Philip John Brenner, 33, and he has an extensive criminal record. His friend Elise is his accomplice.
So that is the actual post from, you can see it says Sarah McCarthy Grimm. So it's Philip John Brenner. Philip John Brenner. And his friend's name is Elias with an E. Okay.
Wow, that's interesting. Have the police question those guys. I shared this info to some friends in Williams. Godspeed. And then it says they have deleted the post about a GoFundMe. Must know people are on to him. I did see a video saying the guys in Williams trying to help look for her. Those guys are super creepy. Huh. That's interesting. Oh my God. Hey guys, wanted to mention a couple things for context. I'm Chelsea's ex-boyfriend. We broke up in March. Haven't spoken.
Okay, so this is going to be from Chelsea's ex-boyfriend. This one says Matthew DeSimon. I'm not sure, but this is a new name that I haven't heard of any other guys in her life except for the PJ guy. So I'm going to write this one down. He's the supposed ex-boyfriend. And again, anybody can be anybody on social media. So it doesn't necessarily mean that it is an ex-boyfriend. There's a lot of people who insert themselves into these cases and absolutely have nothing to do with them. Why people do that, we don't know. So it's interesting to see, and I'll let him read it, but we're just going to take it with a grain of salt at this point. Took one for the team and watched JLR. Brenner was arrested recently for failure to attend court violation from March of 2020. Yeah, thank you, Crochet. So it was aggravated criminal trespassing in 2020. And the sister does say that he has an extensive criminal history. But thank you for taking one for the team, Crochet. That is awesome. I am in the car, so service is spotty, and no, I'm not driving. Okay, definitely be careful. Yeah, thank you, CC. So, yeah, they did say unrelated charges. I just, I didn't know anything about it, so nothing to do with Chelsea. Yeah, exactly. He makes it seem like it is, and that's why it gets on my nerves. But Brenner was active in the Facebook group as recent as the last week. Really? So did he already get out? See, and that's why it makes me want to skip to the beginning. I mean, to current, to find out little things like that. I'll go to it in a minute just to see if he has anything recent like that. But that's interesting. But they could have used that old failure as an excuse to... Right, they could have. Very, very true. He does a lot. He does post a lot on Facebook. What are the odds that she would end up with 2 flat tires and an empty gas tank? Someone could have punctured her tires and gas tank when she stopped somewhere. She stopped at the motel and they think a convenience store. So yeah, very well could have. I said he was released on the 25th. So he was released. Okay, wait. Let me go back to Crochet's comment. Okay. So what date, did it say what date he was arrested? Crochet? I did go kind of skim through it earlier, but I didn't write that down. Let's see. Jenner arrested on and then released on. Okay. So let's see. So you read that he was released on the 25th of October, Leopard Print? Yeah, because I'm trying to figure out what day he was arrested and what day he was released. Yeah, just because a guy's a creep doesn't make him a Ted Bundy, right? So he was in it. That's why I got confused. I was only aware first time. I do not think he's currently incarcerated. Okay. Thank y'all for checking. If a woman took her or gave her a ride, she would remind her to take her camera. Yeah, and I just don't see how she would leave her camera behind. Like, that just blows my mind. A photographer is not going to leave their camera behind. I get that it can happen, and if everything's happening quickly and you already have a handful with your purse, your phone, you have your bearded dragon, you're trying to grab your clothes and you're trying to grab your sleeping bag, you might think that you have your camera. I can see how it can accidentally be left behind, but it's definitely a red flag. And yes, this is teamwork in action. Thank y'all so much. Okay, so filed on the 23rd, so released 2 days later. So was this in September? No, because everything happened after that. So October? Was he arrested October 23rd and released on the 25th? 10/25. Okay, thank you. Leopard Brent. Yeah, so he was only in there for 2 days. So where is he now? That's a good question. Where is he now? In the Facebook groups, obviously. I don't know if I want to reach out and talk to him, because I don't know if I would trust anything he would say. But then again, he could be completely innocent and is really looking. But lots of red flags, lots of things to think about, especially with the sisters saying the stuff about the GoFundMe. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's someone I'm going to be interested in trying to contact. But yeah, they won't leave their camera. And yes, thank you, Cromer, Crochet, and Leopard. Y'all are the best. Right, not a true photographer. That's what I'm saying. Not unless she was in a hurry. Like, let's just say, hypothetically, speculation, my opinion, let's just say the situation is her ex, okay? Because my mind, for some reason, keeps going to the ex. What if he has been bothering her? What if she thinks he might be following her? What if that's why she's going in all these different places? What if that's why she turns off her phone? And then if someone did mess with her vehicle, it has no gas in it, and then 2 tires are flat, so she has to abandon this vehicle. The only thing that bothers me is I don't think it could be someone that picked her up, because she didn't turn her phone back on. Her last phone activity was on the 28th or 29th. Her car was found October 5th. So she couldn't have called someone, in my opinion, to pick her up. Her phone didn't turn back on, unless that's something they haven't released. Otherwise, she's exiting her car pretty quickly. She even takes the time to lock her vehicle. Maybe she really was going to try to find a spot to camp for the night and figured leave her camera in there so that it doesn't get damaged. Locks her vehicle and thinks that it'll be okay, and then maybe something did happen to her while she was away from her vehicle. I really don't know what to think. There's so many different scenarios. There's a video where she tells the woodcutter's wife she was looking for her dragon, and that is on one of Brian's videos, Wendy. So she talks to a woodcutter's wife also. That might be the video I saw yesterday. You should see what he has to say. Oh, Wicked, I don't know. Chelsea is not on video. I'm sorry, the woodcutter's wife. Yeah, is that the story that I did play one yesterday? And the way she's telling the story is like she has Chelsea talking to her, almost like she's a psychic. Is that the woman? Is that the woodcutter's wife, or is that a whole different interview? If someone abducted her, they knew exactly what they were doing. Yeah. Okay, it is on discussion. I'll look for it. A woodcutter sure triggers me. Yeah, that's just what they're known for back there, because it's like farmland and country and hunting and stuff. A woodcut. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I think I did. Oh, no. So it is a different, because Wendy was here, and so it is a different one. So there is some interviews I haven't gotten to. So that's what I want to get to eventually, hopefully. We will.
since July. I've been doing my best in communicating with her family, and the police provide any information that's beneficial to her search. With regards to...
Okay, I'm going to slow it down a little bit just so that I don't miss anything. And I do want to point out that he says he hadn't spoken since July to her at the latest.
Provide any information that's beneficial to her search. With regards to PJ, her latest boyfriend, the detective spoke to, in addition to the families, are both saying that he's not a person of interest. I understand that everyone's trying to help, but people calling Detective Luna in Arizona is about some low life.
Okay, I'm going to read it for him. About some low life in San Diego is distracting from the search efforts. That being said, the San Diego Police Department is looking for him regarding other things in relation to her. So please direct any calls about him to them. So that's interesting. So they still were looking for him regarding other things in relation to her. If you guys have any information regarding Chelsea's whereabouts in Arizona or sightings, etc., please call the number listed instead of posting here. While I think I can speak for everyone here and say that we greatly appreciate you posting this and trying to help, phone and email is the best way of contacting the people looking for her, especially the police. Facebook comments and notifications can often get lost in the shuffle, and it can take a while to get that into the proper authorities, especially if it's secondhand from someone reading it here. Thank you all for caring and trying to help. I'm super appreciative of everyone's support and attempts to locate Chelsea. And again, I think I can say the family feels the same. So I'm not sure if this guy is true or not, but I do have his name written down, and maybe it's someone I'm going to look up. You never know.
Life and look or sightings, hearing this and reading here. Thank you for caring. It's crazy. Let's see this.
$774. If you want the performance of stainless steel, the versatility of cast iron, and the convenience of non-stick, do 4523.
Do you know someone that is missing and you want to spread awareness on their case? Email me Saturday, sir.
I'm sorry, I probably that when I'm. We $2 of us. This looks interesting. Let's see. What's this?
Trying to exploit anybody. Even the local authorities know who I am and what I'm actually doing here. I parted ways with that person. They're obviously having some mental health issues and stuff. No need. I will take down any GoFundMe stuff or anything where we're mutually involved. I'm going to continue my search. I'm actually part of a civilian force called the Cajun Navy and Army.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering, who is this guy? Is this supposed to be her ex? Please read, I'm not exploiting anyone for financial gain. I was simply helping someone who claimed and may or may not be the fiance of missing woman Chelsea Grimm. So, yeah, I'm confused. I don't know who this is.
$2. Started during Katrina and every other major disaster. We all get together and pool resources and get people together to search and rescue people and animals and get people safe in national disasters. You can verify any of this information with me. You can contact local authorities in Williams. They know my name. They know what I've been doing. My videos aren't fake. I mean, I have people out there with ATVs, hunters and stuff helping us out.
I said at least Elias.
Please, apologies. I'm a kind-hearted, beautiful person. All I wanted to do was share something to help save that person. Thank you very much, and please comment and share.
So the first thing for me, if you have to explain that you're a nice, kind-hearted person, it's a little weird. All right, let's play this other one here.
Here's a small update. We're actually speaking.
Okay, I want to get his name. The living. Oh God, his font is so small. I'd have to look at it. Let me see if I can pull it up on my phone. Hold on, y'all. I just want to get his name on Instagram. This guy, so maybe I can reach out to him and maybe find out a little bit more detailed information of what he knows and all that stuff. So hold on, y'all might hear me in the background. Okay. Okay, so his name is the living. Oh, don't do that to me. The living in the living installation, New York City. What the heck? Okay, Insta. Witness helper guy. The living installation, New York City.
Some locals right now to try
Oops, sorry.
to get some extra help. We have found the road where the vehicle is discovered, and we have some local hunters and people with ATVs and some four-wheelers ready to help us on the search. So on the up and up, here we go. Thank you for watching, everybody. Please post and share and help us bring Chelsea back home. Here just
Oh crap, what did I do? What did I do?
Than anyone. The facts matter. I completely agree.
No, what did I
and you have
do?
help too, Carrie. Keep saying Chelsea. Because this is it's the only person that's literally on my mind every day. The name that is on my mind.
Okay, no. Hold on. I messed up. I clicked on something too fast when I was trying to get back to y'all. Hold on just a second.
What is a home warranty? It's a 1-year service plan that helps cover costs.
On the screen, so if people are watching this on replay, they can pause it and look at it.
Wait,
I just don't have the voice.
What is going on? Okay. What's this one?
vehicle is.
Okay, sorry about that. I saw this comment. See you later, Wiccan. Oh, Wiccan, have a good one. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. I think Daisy sent him. I was talking about this. So he did say something about the Cajun Navy and something. We do have a Cajun Navy, but it's pretty local to us. I didn't know they were in the Arizona area, so that's news to me. I'm not sure. This dude was the one traveling with Chelsea's ex. Oh, okay. So this is probably Elias, maybe. Cajun Search and Rescue. I don't know. Facts matter. Yep, they do. All right.
Discovered, and we have on the road where the vehicle is discovered, and we have some local hunters and people with ATVs and some four-wheelers ready to help us on the search. So on the up and up, here we go. Thank you for watching, everybody. Please post and share and help us bring Chelsea back home. Thank you for watching, everybody. Ready to help us on.
Trying to see if you can see anybody in the background.
Hunters and people with ATVs and some four-wheelers. Ready to help us on the search. So on the up and up, here we go. Thank you for watching, everybody. Please post and share and help us bring Chelsea back home.
Here has some legs. I'm glad that we're doing this. I think it's very, very important, and you know, we'll see what happens. I reached out to.
Yes, the Cajun Navy tends to help like search and rescue a lot of areas in the water and on land. And they also do a lot of hurricane restoration because FEMA and the insurance companies seem to take forever. So the Cajun Navy actually helps a lot of people with that, like around here. But they'll go to Texas, they'll go to like Mississippi, Alabama, Florida. They go around. I just haven't heard of them ever being in Arizona. So that was kind of weird. Do we know where the car is now? No, that's a good question though. Where is her car? I'm pretty sure the police had to have taken custody of it. I would think they wouldn't just like leave it out there. I would hopefully they would process it for any kind of DNA or anything like that.
Chelsea's sister, maybe she'll come on, share some information about Chelsea. We can get a little bit more, and hopefully share her story and better on the on the playback.
Let's see what he says.
I will email you. I don't want to be on.
Her family.
American currency at that motel. Is there any other information about that, or what have you heard about that?
Oh wait, he has a call in. Okay.
There might have been.
Or know who's reach out and. This is what I always say, and this is what I always say to these true crime channels that go out and exploit people or say very nasty things about people. You never know who's watching your shows. You never know who's watching your shows. Brian here from LTL Podcast. Who do we have?
This is Artemis.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. Just getting over a cold. I think it's COVID, so sorry if I
Oh
sound
no.
wrong, but yeah, so Shra and I believe there might have been someone else on there that knows her. We've all been pretty worried about her. We all know her from high school and have a little group chat of our own on Instagram.
Sure.
So we've been kind of following this story as closely as possible. I've been in contact with her sister, and the family is praying. Yeah, you can just go ahead and ask any questions if you want, and I can kind of fill in the blanks.
So the thing that's a little bit weird to me, and it's bizarre, is that when we hear about her in Siegelman trying to exchange euros for American currency at that motel, is there any?
And I just want to point out that this is awesome that he did have someone call into his show that was able to shed some light and maybe kind of fill in some of the blanks. So that would be awesome. Like if anybody is watching that knows anything, or if you're even on replay and you need to contact me, my email is in my About Me. And yeah, if you or someone that knows anything about the Chelsea Grimm case, please reach out to me. I would love to talk to you and try to, answer some questions. Try to get some answers. I cannot talk. Try to get questions answered. Jeez. Okay, we'll continue with this. Sorry.
Any other information about that, or what have you heard about that?
I haven't heard too much about that. I think the things that jump out the most to us, including the family,
Sure.
is that this could be a case of mental health crisis. I don't think her family is thinking that might be. I feel like it could be that. It could be the neighbor, and I think I might have emailed this to you.
Sure.
Had a correspondence with me, and he had let me know, and in a post somewhere, he had told the public that she was hanging around people that were not so good, and he said that they were involved in meth, taking meth, and this is not.
So according to her source, allegedly they were hanging around people they shouldn't have been, and that they were involved in meth.
He had told the public that she was hanging around people that were not so good, and he said that they were involved in meth, taking meth. And this is, not in her character. So I don't know if when she moved from the East Coast to LA a few years ago, I think she moved in like 2020.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think she maybe fell into the wrong crowd. I think she had a breakup with her long-term boyfriend from the East Coast that she met up with when she went to NYU. And then I want to say she probably just fell into the wrong crowd, this PJ guy. Although I feel hesitant because I feel like people should be looking at him, but there's also a possibility, and her sister had let me know, we really feel like this is could possibly be a sideshow, and this guy is just looking to
capitalize on it. Yeah.
But anything's possible at this point because we just simply don't know. And if she's trying to exchange euros, I know she went on.
Okay, she's about to give some information on the euros, and I was multitasking there, but what did she say about Ash Fork, Wendy? I missed that part. And yes, this is all allegedly, because none of us know if this is true or not. But yeah, I missed what they said about Ash Fork, but I definitely want to hear what she's going to say about the euros.
And if she's trying to exchange euros, I know she went on like in a pretty extensive backpacking trip in Europe a couple.
So she did go. Hold on, let me go back to my little. Where did she get the euros? Okay, so she went on an extensive backpacking trip across Europe. The euros make a lot of sense.
Years ago,
and that was a couple years ago. Okay.
She might have had euros on her and packed up her car. This is just speculation.
Sure.
And then she, maybe she was on drugs or tweaking or something and had a come down, or maybe it was a mental health breakdown, and went to a motel and was trying to exchange the euros or pay for the motel in euros. That's just one possibility, but I feel like at this point it's like we really just don't know why she was doing that, and we're all just trying to find answers as much as everybody else. So us all in our little Instagram group following her and the footsteps and everything that we've been able to find on Instagram, and through some of us have actually spoken to her maybe even a couple weeks before her trip. I myself haven't spoken to her in maybe a year.
Okay.
But some people had shared, that she had kind of a sketchy situation with an ex-boyfriend, and there were some DMs that friends had shared between amongst each other, and we're like, there's something up with this PJ guy. We just don't know to what extent, if that makes sense.
Sure. Do you know who, there's a question, Lucky Phil is saying, do you know who was getting married out in the East Coast that she was traveling out there to?
All I know is that she had told one of the group members of our group, our mutual friends, we're all friends together, that she was meeting her best friend for the wedding. And I believe it was in New York City.
So it was allegedly meeting with her best friend for the wedding, and it was, they believed to be in New York City. And again, all of this is speculation, theorizing, putting together what we know and listening in on what others are theorizing, and just trying to make sense of something that does not make sense.
Is what she said in the direct message screenshot. And she seemed really excited about it. Like she was, like she wanted to go, and I believe maybe there were some reservations and something having to do with an ex-boyfriend hanging out with a female friend in San Diego or in the California area.
Sure.
So there was like some kind of hesitancy there, but all I know is that it was her best friend from New York and she was getting married.
So Shara says, when I last heard from her, she was worried about her close friends communicating with PJ and fearful for her safety.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think it was.
Wait, let me hear that again.
About her close friends communicating with PJ and fearful for her safety.
Yeah. Yeah.
So fearful for her friend's safety or her own safety or both? That's interesting. Okay, let me see. Yes, that's my assume, my bad. I just know history. Oh no, you're good. You're good. I don't even remember. Why Carrie? That's what I'm thinking. Maybe it's because she didn't want to be tracked in any kind of way by using our currency. I don't know. I'll carry them right. But yeah, that's what I'm wondering. She was concerned about someone's safety, and it had to do with PJ. That's alarming. I almost feel like she had no intention of going to the wedding. I have not heard what day the wedding was to occur. I thought she was heading to Connecticut. Yeah, I remember the Connecticut thing also, which Connecticut is not that far from New York, but you're right, MJ. All the articles said Connecticut. So let me make that side note. Connecticut. And I don't know the date of the wedding either. That hasn't come out, and the parents would know that, but I haven't seen that anywhere. Where was PJ the week she disappeared? Anyone know? I don't know. That's what this friend is saying, is that there was some kind of meetup at like a motel between a friend and her ex, which I think is PJ, and that's what she was concerned about. Let me go back. We'll go back and listen.
Having to do with an ex-boyfriend was what she said in the direct message screenshot.
Don't tell me what to do.
Okay, sorry. Let's go back and start this part over. Oh, hold on. Let me get my dog out of here. 1 second. Okay, sorry. I grabbed me a little snack too because I was getting a little hungry there. But okay, we'll listen again.
And she seemed really excited about it. Like she was, like she wanted to go, and I believe maybe there were some reservations and something having to do with an ex-boyfriend hanging out with a female friend.
Okay, so she's saying that like Chelsea had reservations, I guess, about going, like being hesitant, in other words. Something to do with an ex-boyfriend hanging out with a female friend. So that's what I'm saying. I wonder if before she left for the wedding, she found out that her ex-boyfriend was hanging out with a female friend of hers, and she was concerned about her safety and her well-being.
In San Diego or in the California area?
Because she is from the San Diego area, if I'm not mistaken. So it seems to me, this is just my interpretation, is that she found out that a female friend of hers was hanging out with her ex in the San Diego area, and she was concerned about her safety. And so that maybe is that why she had kind of hesitations about going on the cross-country trip. But then she does travel pretty far east. So I'd wonder if, I mean, I don't know. I wonder what happened with this female friend, if that's even true.
Sure.
So there was like some kind of hesitancy there, but all I know is that it was her best friend from New York and she was getting married.
So Shara says, when I last heard from her, she was worried about her close friends communicating with PJ and fearful for her safety.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm chilling. Let me take the captions off real quick. When I last heard from her, she was worried about her close friends communicating with PJ and fearful of her safety. Yeah, I don't know. That can be taken in different ways. It's confusing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think it was, honestly, it was probably the message between Shaw and Chelsea.
And again, you know, when we say all this stuff, it's alleged.
Wait, so she said that was the message between Shra and Chelsea. So the person that is commenting in his chat, the Shra person, is someone that definitely knew Chelsea.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think it was, honestly, it's
Yeah, so fearful for her.
probably the message between Shaw and Chelsea.
And again, you know, when we say all this stuff, it's alleged. We're not implicating anybody. You know, I just want to make sure that we're clear on that online and on air and out there in the public. We're just saying allegedly, because we really don't know. Another thing that was just very strange about it, and I was talking about earlier, is that where her car was found and how the condition it was found in, you know, 2 flat tires on the same side of the car doesn't make a lot of sense to me either. That's very strange. You know, the possibility of that actually happening out in a very remote area, I could see maybe 1 flat tire, but 2 just seems odd. It almost seems.
Okay, I really don't. I'm going to agree with Blonde here because I really don't think that's really odd, especially if that side of the tire is closer to the edge of the road. You ran over the same object twice, and it was an object sharp enough to flatten both of your tires. Like, that can definitely happen, in my opinion. But what do I know? I don't know.
Seems like someone slashed the tires or something like that.
Right. And I even said to my group just a little bit ago, I feel like this is of 3 different possibilities at this point. She either planned this in some way or decided, I'm gonna, you know, some people don't want to be found. You know, there's no rhyme or reason to it necessarily. And that's just a sad fact. So there's, you know, that option. And she had this kind of planned out. And then the other option is, of course, foul play. And someone deliberately took the air out of those tires and took her. Something happened on that road. And then the other option would be just that, I guess, that she got on that road and she decided just to, maybe she did get a flat, I don't, you know, and she decided to walk and she was delirious or something. Like, it's, I feel like with those options, she ended up walking away from that car.
Yeah. Something got her away from that car.
Yeah, exactly.
Shar says some of the comments on Reddit, I'm sorry to cut you off, says on Reddit about the terrain said that it was rough. I'm sure the police would have shared if the tires was out. Not necessarily, Shar, because we follow a lot of cases here and you don't get always the full information. And sometimes law enforcement will leave that out because maybe they may be questioning people or talking.
Yeah, what he's saying is it does make a lot of sense. They might have more information on why the tires were flat, but it also might be something that they have to keep close to the vest because it could lead to something else. So like I said, there could be a lot that we just don't know. I really hope that is the case and that it's not just going cold. I really, really hope that there's a lot of people still looking into a lot of aspects of this case. No, afraid they best friends would tell her whereabouts to PJ, and she was afraid for her safety. Oh, okay, got you, mom person. Now that makes sense. That doesn't make sense. And that's the thing. He's already been arrested and he's already been released. So obviously, nothing came from his arrest. His arrest was unrelated to Chelsea. But I'm guessing while they had him in custody, they questioned him and they released him. So I don't know. It's all just very bizarre. There's a reason Chelsea's car was left on a dirt road in a very remote area. Yeah, I agree. Okay, we're going to finish listening to this friend's phone call. And then I'm probably going to go ahead and call it for today because it's already been 2.5 hours. But, I mean, I could go on and on for hours with these videos. I honestly could.
Talking to people to see what they say. So not necessarily, I will say that. But it's interesting. You know, the 2 flat tires just seems very strange to me. Do you know anybody that is the most recent friend that may have talked with her or spoke with her and what that last communication might have been?
You know, I don't want to bother her sister because she was trying to take a break from all the PJ drama.
Right.
So I did send her a DM earlier and just said, hey, you know, I don't want to press anymore, but that was a question we had because none of us really know who this Arizona friend of hers is that she met up with, and that's like a huge
question
gap
mark.
in the story, I think.
Okay. Interesting.
So that's a piece of the puzzle we all want to know.
So that could have been, I wonder if that was, like I was saying earlier, it could have been someone off like a dating app. You know, was she known to use that stuff or meet guys from there? Twinder, or what is the Twinder?
Well,
Tinder, or
Glenn, you have missed a lot. You're gonna have to go back. I did have a question to answer you though. What was it, y'all? Oh, the reason why she had euros was one of the friends confirmed that she did go on an extensive backpacking trip across Europe years ago. So that could be why she had euros. Now, why she had them on her and why she was trying to use them, that doesn't make much sense. The guy that was arrested, her ex, he was arrested on 10/23 and he was released on 10/25. So he is not even a person of interest. Right now on the phone is some friends of Chelsea, like her real life friends of hers that are trying to give some kind of information about what they know. I personally, at this time, do not think PJ is involved in her disappearance at this time anyways. Yeah, I don't know. I'm iffy. Especially if she was concerned for her safety. Like, that says a lot to me. So I can't rule him out. But everything is alleged because everyone is innocent until proven guilty. No one is named a person of interest in this case. All of this is alleged and opinions and theories. Yeah, you're welcome, Blonde. Thank you for coming back. And yeah, I think he's still sus. Thank you so much, Daisy in chat. So caring and smart, you all. Daisy, someday I'm going to have Cajun gumbo. That's actually what we're eating tonight, Wendy. Are you leaving right now, Wendy? Because I'm just going to play the rest of this friend's phone call, and then I'm going to go ahead and end it. But yeah, why was she afraid of him? I think that says a lot. Okay, let's see.
That was, like I was saying earlier, it could have been someone off like a dating app. You know, was she known to use that stuff or meet guys from there? Twinder, or what is the Twinder?
Well,
Tinder, or Bumble?
I don't think it was a male because there's something in her saved stories on her Instagram, and I believe her Instagram is public, but there's something in her saved story that says, like 2 or 3 days before she went missing, it says, on my way to AZ to meet my girlie. And so there, you know, it was clearly a female that she was going to meet. So we don't know who that person was. And we searched and tried to find, We do know, though, that a year ago she did a solo retreat in Arizona.
Yeah.
It was kind of like I don't even really know the details on that retreat, but it looked like some kind of a nature retreat, or I don't know if it was like a self-help place.
Right.
But there's stuff about that on her saved story as well. So she's familiar with the Arizona area. We definitely have alumni from our school that live in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
But no one to our knowledge knows of anything about her, passing through Arizona and meeting up with any of us. So that rules us out. And so it might just be somebody, and Arizona isn't that far away from California.
Right.
So who knows, who she could have met.
I just think it's interesting too when we looked at the map that I put together tonight, that it almost seemed like she wanted to go back west at her most furthest point. At the last point before her car disappeared, it's almost like she was heading back in the direction of San Diego and then took a detour and just went straight north. And then that's when her car was found. So it's really strange.
It is really strange and really bizarre. And of course, we don't want to point fingers at the PJ guy, that it's him. But I did even mention in our group tonight that, hey guys, food for thought, on PJ's TikTok, there's a lot of expensive, stuff, I don't know, love of cars and fixing.
I wonder what his TikTok is.
Up cars, and he clearly has knowledge about all. Sorry, still really sick.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, I think it's COVID.
Oh no.
It's totally sucks. But this guy has a lot of knowledge about fixing up cars, and I think at one point he even helped her tow her car or something. That's in her saved stories.
Interesting.
So he knows how to, he fixed up his van, his camper, himself. Excuse me, sorry.
That's okay.
But yeah, I think he's definitely someone of interest and someone that would even know information, because he would be someone that she recently talked to.
Right.
So, I mean, I did speak to the Coconino Police Department yesterday.
Sure.
And I gave all of our information that we have. So
Right.
they are on. Oh my gosh!
I feel so bad
They
for
are on the same page. Yeah, they are on the same page, and they know everything. So they have everything, and they even seemed surprised, with the whole GoFundMe page that he had posted,
Right.
and we're like, really, wow. And immediately, which was really weird, was that a couple hours after I had reported into them, they have everything, and they're on the same page, and they know everything. So they have everything, and
Sorry, I had to go back.
they even seemed surprised, with the whole GoFundMe page that he had posted,
Right.
and we're like, really, wow. And immediately, which was really weird, was that a couple hours after I had reported into them, PJ left Elias. They were together, and then they just did.
Wow.
And I had a conversation with Elias.
Oh, okay. So she said he left Elias, not Alliance. I hate the captioning sometimes. So Elias is apparently one of his friends.
Wow.
And I had a conversation with Elias through direct message.
Sure.
As well as Chelsea's sister had a conversation with him as well. And I didn't give away my phone number. I didn't want him to have my phone number. I did get his, but and made sure I got it in case police needed it or something like that.
Right.
But he did let me know that PJ was trying to threaten him physically, and he called the police on PJ, and there was this whole drama scene or something. This guy clearly
Wait, what?
on you or something like that.
Right.
But he did let me know that PJ was trying to threaten him physically, and he called the police on PJ, and there was this whole drama scene or something.
So there was a big fight between PJ and Elias, who are apparently friends. She doesn't say when, but so Elias is the Cajun rescue man. Yeah.
This guy clearly seems unhinged as well as PJ. And then the last I know is that PJ was trying to call Elias and get a Greyhound to get to an airport.
BRB. Okay, sorry, I'm freezing and I had to grab me a little blanket.
Airport and and get a Greyhound to get to an airport, and to go where we're not really sure, but that was the whole PJ drama. But again, it's like, is this just a
So who was trying to get the Greyhound, PJ or Elias? Yeah, this is very interesting. Yeah, I think so too, MJ. I'm gonna have to reach out to the sister. Right. It seems like Elias was the good guy and PJ not so much. And I do know that there isn't an interview of this podcaster with Elias on here, but it's all like more in the recent stuff, and it's already almost been 3 hours. I don't want to hold all of you guys here for much longer, but it is in here somewhere, y'all. He does have an interview with the Elias guy, so that'll be interesting when we get to it. And like I said, if any of you want to go to his page, please feel free to do so. And then we can talk about it when we get to it, because that doesn't bother me at all. You know, like I asked all of you, if you're interested in his content, please sub up to him. He does amazing work. So, but yeah. Okay, let's finish this one.
just distraction, or is this something that
should be looked into? Yeah. Wow. Very, very interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I honestly didn't when I started to look into this, because there's not that much information. I'm like, what can I get out of this tonight? I want to give back this poor girl. Like, we don't know where she is. It's just a mystery. You're out in the middle of Arizona and you just disappear. I'm like, how can I bring this to my audience? And it's crazy. It just seems like the story has tons of legs, and we want to definitely get Chelsea back home safe. Absolutely. And that's why I wanted to do that. That's why I do cases like this, to get information out there of the cases that aren't being talked about in the mainstream media. That's why I think independent media is going to be the wave of the future. We can report on this, get directly to the people that are involved or have information to these cases, and get it out there in some awareness. I want to do this because I know you don't feel well, and I don't want to keep you too much longer, but I appreciate you calling in. If I do another show in a couple of days, maybe as some new information comes in, could you call back in and maybe give us an update?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Hopefully I'll be sounding better by then, for sure. So I'm on the mend for sure. I'm a lot better than I was yesterday or the day before, but
that's great.
But yeah.
Can someone let me know if this link, let me see. Okay, so this link brings you straight to this guy's Chelsea Grimm playlist. However, it's the way he has them listed is the top one is the most recent, so you have to scroll all the way to the bottom to start from the beginning. So number 47 is the very first one. That's the one that we've been watching tonight. So you would start on 46. So yeah, that's the link to his page directly.
Just reach out to me. I did send you an email.
Yeah.
Did see that, and I'll email you again just so you know who I am.
Okay.
I go under an alias on YouTube.
Yeah.
But I will email you. I'll also email you. I think Shra probably emailed this to you, but there is a video of him that was deleted of PJ.
I didn't get that, so yeah, I'd love to see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hey, real quick, how did you find? Have you been subscribed here, or did you just recently find me through this?
I think I found you maybe threw like a hashtag, and I threw the YouTube channel in our group. So
Wow.
we started watching. We were actually waiting since yesterday. I was like, oh, this person's going live and talking about it. So we all knew that it was coming up tonight.
Oh, that's great. And you know, listen, I don't put anything out there to offend anybody. You know, we try to, what I do is I stick, you know, what LTL podcast does is I always say we because of my subscribers. We stick to the facts. We don't exploit anybody. We put relevant information out there. We are very sympathetic to all of the victims, the friends, the families, the community here on this podcast. And we want to just get it right. And that's why I ask for people, if you have information in a legitimate, credible source, fill us in and let us know, because we want to get the word out about these victims and we want to get correct information out there. And again, you know, I spent like 4 hours on the map today, and I just watched her, you know, looked at her movements. I read through dozens of articles and put this all together. And I said, you know, it's just strange. It's odd and it's strange. And hopefully, you know, we have some good news soon here. So thank you for calling in. I appreciate it. Let's stay in contact. I'd love to have you call back and give us an update in a couple days.
Will do. Yeah. Thank you so much. Also, like I did follow the Gabby Petito case pretty extensively back when that happened. I know there's a lot of there's definitely some vibes going on with this case, and unfortunately, it's happened to somebody that I know personally. But yeah, just again, thank you for the transparency and making sure you're getting the information out, because I know with that case there was a lot of people were going in all different directions in that case.
With it. Victim back these cases to expect of it or friends. So I don't understand why people would do that on the flip side home and make sure that she's safe. So with that being said, everybody being here this evening, tomorrow.
So that was number 47 on the playlist. So I did drop the link for the playlist. So if anybody wants to check it out in between my lives, go for it. And tomorrow I'll do another live on episode 46. I think that one's pretty short, so we'll probably be able to do 2 tomorrow. From what I'm looking at, they're only a few minutes long. So, but yeah, we'll continue going over Chelsea's case with LTL True Crime Podcast, because he's one of the only ones, you know, still talking about it. I'm also going to go onto Facebook and look into Philip John Brenner, which is PJ. I'm going to look for Elias. I'm going to look for the sister and try to see what I can find out in between this, you know, now in my next live. And by the way, hi, Miss W. Good to see you. Unfortunately, YouTube artist playlist new to old, which is annoying when you let it autoplay. Well, see, the thing is you can choose on some of my playlists. I've done them in order. You have to physically do it though. It's annoying, but yeah, that's why I was letting you guys know. So the link that I did send you is his playlist for all Chelsea Grimm. Just scroll all the way to the bottom. Episode 47 is the one we watched today. So you would go up the list. The one at the top would be the most current information. So just wanted to let y'all know that. No problem, Mom First. Thank you guys. I appreciate all of y'all's input, all of y'all helping, because this case, it just won't go away for me. It's there, and I'm looking into it. I'm doing what I can, trying to get her name out there. If you guys can, if you're on Facebook and you like to join the groups and maybe just lurk and read and try to find out what you can, and you find screenshots, please feel free to email them to me. If anybody happens to talk to anyone about the case and want to update me, please do so. That'd be greatly appreciated. We did Daisy through her phone, but it truly is not an overnight discovery. Ellie was also involved, of course. MJ, we did through her phone. Remind me what you're talking about, MJ, because you know I get so sidetracked. Oh, y'all did find her through her phone. Oh, geez. Thank God she was found, though. That's scary. Thank you, Leopard Print, for your help. You and Crochet and everyone here. Thank you. No, you're good, Miss W. You can go back and watch the replay if you want to. And then tomorrow I will continue because I'm literally going back to the beginning. Chelsea Grimm was the last seen 9/28 or 9/30 if you go by the woodcutter's story that talked to her. She was reported missing October 4th, but she has now not been seen or heard from in 2 months. So we're trying to do what we can to get her name out there. So if y'all want, post these lives on y'all socials, post a flyer if you can. I'm sure if you Google a flyer, you can find one and just post that on your socials, and you never know who will see that. Yes, prayers for her and her family for sure. Love to you also, and blessings to you too, Wendy. October 25th in Tennessee. What is that, Mom First? Oh, he was arrested? Is that where PJ was arrested? He was released on 10/25, right? I'm confused, Mom First. But same to you, Crochet. It's good to see you here. Let me see. You too, Furious Georgia. Yeah, I need to charge mine too, and I need to go eat dinner. But anyway, thank you all again. I appreciate you all, and we will be back tomorrow trying to find out anything we can about Chelsea Grimm. Yeah, he was released on the 25th. All right. See you guys later. Love you all. Take care. Have a blessed one.